The protagonist, Su Ling, finds himself disoriented and bloodied, realizing with dawning horror that he's been transmigrated into a hostile world teeming with monstrous creatures. With no time to process this cosmic shift, he is immediately forced to fight for his life against a grotesque scorpion-tailed beast, a brutal introduction to his new reality. The story then flashes back a few days, revealing his new identity. Su Ping, an 18-year-old in a technologically advanced society where astral pets are the core of civilization, and one's status is dictated entirely by the strength of their trained creatures. Grasping the harsh rules of this world, he resolves to grow powerful enough to survive and thrive. His new life begins with a jarring awakening at the hands of his younger sister, Su Ling Yu, a formidable and already established astral trainer. Their relationship is clearly strained, a consequence of the original Su Ping's history of childish pranks. Annoyed, she tasks him with managing their family's neglected and run-down pet store. Upon arriving at the dilapidated shop, he is immediately confronted by an irate customer whose powerful pet, a black wind dog, was apparently mistreated while in the store's care. The situation rapidly deteriorates, and the enraged customer commands his pet to obliterate the store with a devastating energy blast. Just as the attack is about to incinerate him and everything around him, a mysterious system activates, binding Su Ping's very existence to the store and granting him absolute invulnerability within its walls, a development that catches both him and his aggressor completely off guard. A sleek, futuristic interface materializes before the MC's eyes, displaying his new identity. Host, Su Ping. He stares in utter bewilderment, barely able to ask what is happening. The system calmly explains its primary function. While inside the store, the host will receive absolutely no damage from any source. The MC's mind reels with the implication. He is invincible here. A triumphant grin spreads across his face as he processes this incredible power, but a flicker of confusion remains as he questions why the binding object is the store itself. With perfect comedic timing, the system adds a crucial detail he overlooked. The store owner is also bound to the system. Just as this information sinks in, time, which had frozen during the system's activation, lurches back into motion. The angry customer, unaware of the divine intervention, screams for his black wind dog to burn the pathetic store to the ground. A massive orb of destructive energy gathers in the creature's maw, crackling with power, but right at the peak of its charge. The attack fizzles out with a confused and pathetic whimper. The MC, now brimming with newfound confidence, stands completely unfazed, a smirk playing on his lips as he coolly asks the stunned customer what he was planning to do to his establishment. He then turns his gaze to the cowed black wind dog, and in a tone of absolute command, tells it to swallow it up. The once menacing beast is now utterly terrified, whimpering and sniffing at the MC's feet like a lost puppy. The customer and his cronies are paralyzed with fear, having just witnessed their pet's ultimate attack be neutralized by this seemingly ordinary store owner with his bare hands. Playing the part of an unfathomable master, the MC inquires if there is some issue with the store's service. The customer, sweating profusely, stammers that there is absolutely no problem. Seizing the opportunity, the MC benevolently suggests leaving the black wind dog at the store for a few days so it can be properly cared for. The customer, seeing the MC's deceptively pleasant smile, interprets it as a terrifying threat. He hastily agrees and flees with his lackeys, screaming that they were about to be killed. The MC watches them go, genuinely puzzled, wondering if he's truly that scary. With the threat handled, the system chimes in, announcing that for resolving a store-related problem, he has earned a refresh reward, which he promptly applies. In an instant, the dirty, dilapidated shack transforms into a gleaming, modern, and high-tech facility. The MC is speechless, marveling at the incredible upgrade. He discovers a previously unseen room in the back, which is filled with rows of sleek, pod-like devices he assumes are astral pet cages. The system corrects him, identifying them as advanced cultivation nests capable of helping pets train and heal at an accelerated rate. Thinking ahead, he asks the system how to prevent such problems from happening again. In response, the system issues his first official quest: select an astral pet and raise it to level 3 or higher. He's presented with two options, a moon dog and a thunder mouse, and after a moment's consideration, he chooses the thunder mouse. A small, impossibly cute, white rodent-like creature materializes in his hands. The system identifies it as a level 1 thunder mouse with a thunder attribute and a single skill: acting cute. The MC is utterly baffled. A thunder-type pet whose only ability is to look adorable. He questions where the thunder aspect comes into play. The system cryptically explains that a pet's skills will evolve based on the host's unique training methods. His choice made. The system announces the next step. He will now enter the designated training area, the Thundercloud SeaWorld. Before the MC can even ask what that means, a swirling vortex of crackling blue energy erupts from the floor beneath him. With a cry of shock and panic, he and the tiny mouse are unceremoniously sucked into the portal. The MC lands with a soft thud in a surreal and intimidating landscape. He finds himself on a desolate plain beneath a sky roiling with perpetual storms, dominated by the sight of a colossal, gnarled tree that seems to stretch into the heavens, its branches acting as conduits for constant, crackling lightning. This, the system informs him, is the Thundercloud SeaWorld. A system notification pops up, displaying a stark warning. The probability of encountering large, dangerous beasts in this area is high. The MC, still taking in the awe-inspiring yet terrifying scenery, casually dismisses the warning, figuring such encounters wouldn't happen everywhere. His hubris is immediately punished. A monstrous, jellyfish-like entity of unimaginable size, a king beast tens of thousands of meters tall, emerges from the swirling clouds above. The MC has only a fraction of a second to register its sheer scale before he is completely obliterated by its overwhelming presence. A simple, blunt message appears in the void. The host has died. He materializes in a stark, empty space, coughing as if expelling phantom dust from his lungs. The system explains that he is in the revival space and lays out the grim rules of his mission. He has a time limit, and leaving the training ground early or failing the task will result in a penalty to his host rating. More importantly, if his rating ever drops below 60, he will be permanently killed. Fury erupts within the MC. He screams at the system, demanding to know why this crucial information wasn't provided beforehand and what his current rating is. The system, with a hint of digital sass, tells him the punishments were detailed in the fine print he didn't scroll down to read, and adds that his current rating is too low to even be viewed. Cursing the manipulative system for setting him up to fail, the MC realizes he has no choice but to play along. The system offers a piece of advice. Find suitable prey and form a temporary contract with his pet to share senses. He's then revived, reappearing in the Thundercloud SeaWorld. Now linked with the Thunder Mouse, he can feel the small creature's palpable fear. He quickly spots what he believes to be a perfect, non-threatening target, a lone, grass-eating astral horse. However, before he can act, a 10-meter-long sandworm-like monster bursts from the ground and ambushes the horse. Seeing a new opportunity, the MC decides this will be their prey. He commands the terrified Thunder Mouse to attack it, telling it to bite the creature's neck. The mouse hesitates for a moment before bravely charging, only to be swatted aside and killed in an instant. A new prompt appears. The lightning rat has died, but in doing so it has learned a new skill, charge. The system asks if he wishes to revive it. A light bulb goes off in the MC's head. He has infinite revivals for his pet. This changes everything. A brutal yet effective strategy forms in his mind, a war of relentless attrition. He revives the mouse and sends it back into the fray. He instructs it to use its agility to evade the sandworm's attacks and circle around to strike the vulnerable flesh between its armored plates. Again and again, the Thunder Mouse dies a gruesome death, and again, the MC brings it back to life, his face a mask of grim determination. The battle becomes a horrific cycle of death and resurrection. After what feels like an eternity of this torture, something changes. The Thunder Mouse's body begins to emit a brilliant turquoise aura. The system announces that due to repeated exposure to the potent lightning energy in the environment and the stress of countless battles, the pet has gained a rudimentary control over thunder. Its charge skill has evolved into the far more powerful Thunder Collide. The MC's eyes widen in excitement. An elemental attack is exactly what they needed to bypass the sandworm's tough hide. He gives the order. The Thunder Mouse, now a streaking bolt of pure lightning, slams into the monster with explosive force, finally felling the beast. The system confirms the kill, announcing that the mouse has leveled up and his task progress is now at 2%. The MC congratulates the exhausted but triumphant mouse, but their celebration is cut short as the very ground begins to tremble violently. From all around them, the earth erupts as a massive swarm of adult sandworms, each hundreds of meters long, surfaces, their monstrous forms blotting out the horizon. The MC can only stare in mute horror at the impossible, overwhelming horde that has now surrounded him. The battle is immediate and brutal. The MC is swatted by a colossal pincer and sent flying through the air, coughing up a spray of blood. He instantly recognizes the vast difference in power, An adult sandworm is leagues beyond the juvenile they just struggle to defeat, and there's an entire army of them. His thunder mouse is also grievously wounded, its small body battered and bleeding on the desolate ground. The logical part of his brain tells him to give up. The smartest choice is to let the sandworms kill them, trigger the random revival, and continue their training in a safer location. As one of the behemoths looms over them, its maw gaping wide to deliver the final blow, the tiny, broken thunder mouse pushes itself to its feet. It lets out a weak but defiant squeak, a spark of fighting spirit still burning within it. To the MC's absolute astonishment, the little creature, running on nothing but sheer willpower, summons the last of its strength and unleashes another thunder collide, launching itself headfirst at the gigantic monster. A profound sense of awe and shame washes over the MC. He was ready to quit, but this tiny pet, after dying over 100 times, refused to surrender. Its courage ignites his own. "Even you didn't give up," he murmurs, a fierce grin spreading across his face. He roars in defiance, declaring that if they are to die, they will go down fighting, and joins his companion in one last, glorious and utterly hopeless charge against the tide of monsters. They are predictably annihilated in a flash. He awakens in a new, unfamiliar part of the training world, feeling a deep, bone-grinding exhaustion. He questions this fatigue, as the system had promised a full revival. The system clarifies that while his physical body is restored, the act of revival places a significant strain on his mental fortitude. He has been revived so many times in such a short period that his weak mental strength is buckling under the pressure. He must train his mind as well as his body. His senses, now sharpened by the temporary contract, scream a warning of new danger. A different species of sandworm, this one capable of spitting corrosive acid, erupts from the ground. With renewed determination, he and the Thunder Mouse engage in another desperate battle, their coordination and power growing with each skirmish. After an untold number of deaths and victories, a final, triumphant message appears. "Congratulations on the completion of the task." A detailed report fills his vision, displaying the staggering statistics of their ordeal. The Thunder Mouse was revived 130 times, the MC himself was revived 60 times, and together they managed to kill 17 creatures. More importantly, the Thunder Mouse's skills have evolved again, upgrading to lightning flash and afterimage of thunder. The MC is floored. He recognizes the names. His pet has somehow learned 2 of the top 10 legendary secret arts of the thunder element. The system explains that secret arts are ancient, powerful techniques that have been lost to time, learnable only by pets with extraordinary talent and potential. The hyper-concentrated lightning energy of the Thundercloud SeaWorld, combined with the extreme pressure of countless life-or-death struggles, had fully awakened the Thunder Mouse's hidden power. Having accomplished the impossible, the MC is more than ready to leave. The system announces the end of the training session and begins to sever the connection to the dangerous dimension, returning him to the relative safety of his store. The scene shifts to the bustling Feng Shanwar Pet Academy during the final selection round for aspiring astral pet trainers. The air is thick with anticipation as spectators gossip about which talented student will win and earn the chance to be mentored by a renowned master. In the crowd is a young woman with vibrant red hair, Su Yan Ying. She is in a dire situation. Having underestimated the competition, she has already suffered 2 crushing defeats against top contenders like Yi Hao and Jiang Zhu. Her next match is against another powerful opponent, Zhang Zio, and her only available pet is a white-toothed tiger that possesses no combat skills whatsoever. Despite the bleak outlook, she refuses to surrender, her mind racing for a solution. A faint glimmer of hope appears as she remembers the one other pet she owns, a simple thunder mouse she had left at a local pet store for long-term care. Desperate, she rushes to the Zio Tao Dai pet store. She is surprised to find the once shabby building is now a clean, modern establishment. She calls out for the owner, finding the storefront empty. The MC emerges from the back room. Su Yan Ying explains that she's there to retrieve her thunder mouse, which she dropped off half a month prior. The MC's eyes light up with recognition. With a cryptic, knowing smile, he assures her that her pet is doing exceptionally well, so well, in fact, that it couldn't be better. He then calmly states that they need to settle the bill first. She finds his demeanor odd, wondering if he's worried she'll shortchange him. She quickly reassures him that she will pay the full agreed-upon price, even though she is picking it up early. The MC disappears into the back. He gently wakes the Thunder Mouse, which is peacefully sleeping in one of the luxurious cultivation nests. "Time to go home, little guy," he says softly. The mouse looks up at him with what seems like genuine sadness, reluctant to leave. He pats its head, telling it not to forget him. Back in the main room, Su Yan Ying completes the payment. As the transaction registers, a die-die sound echoes in the MC's mind. The system announces that the monetary transaction has been detected, and the 108 yuan she paid has been automatically converted into energy points for the restore. Immediately, a new, critical task is assigned. The MC must acquire and nurture an astral pet of his own within 7 days. The reward is a random astral trainer skill book, but the punishment for failure is the complete erasure of his existence. The system dangles a carrot, informing him that he can purchase an awakening potion from the Estor to officially become an astral pet trainer. The MC is ecstatic. This is his path to true power. He eagerly accesses the store's interface. The awakening potion is listed for 100 energy points. He visualizes the purchase, but the system delivers a crushing blow. Unable to be purchased, there are not enough energy points. Confused, he checks his balance and sees the pathetic truth. The 108,000 yuan payment converted to a single solitary energy point. The realization hits him like a physical blow. His face contorts into a mask of pure rage, a fiery red aura erupting around him as he loses all composure. He screams in utter volcanic disbelief, his voice cracking with fury. The legendary star pet he had nurtured through hell and back, a creature that learned 2 of the top 10 secret arts in existence, was worth a paltry, insulting 108 yuan. The match on the grand arena stage is a brutal, one-sided affair. Zhang Zio's dragon demon dog, a powerful and vicious beast, has utterly dominated the fight, severely injuring Su Yan Ying's white-toothed tiger with a single overwhelming attack. In the commentator's booth, a group of academy officials soberly analyze the situation. They agree that Su Yan Ying, despite being a talented third-year trainer, simply had the bad luck of drawing 2 of the academy's top students back-to-back. One of them remarks that she is still too young and strategically naive, having exhausted her pet's strength in previous losing battles instead of conserving it. A more sympathetic observer, however, points out that for her, this is a do-or-die match that will determine her future, so it's only natural she would fight with everything she has. Down on the field, despair is etched onto Su Yan Ying's face. Her tiger is still recovering from its previous match, and this new injury has sealed their fate. The chances of winning are now effectively 0. Her opponent Zhang Zio sneers with contempt. "Guess you're not that good," he taunts, before commanding his beast to finish her off with a devastating move called Flame of the Dragon. A massive fireball erupts from the dog's maw, streaking towards her and her injured pet. At the very last second, with tears of frustration in her eyes, she cries out, "I surrender." The fireball impacts the arena's high-level protective barrier, exploding harmlessly in a shower of sparks. The judge promptly intervenes, shielding her with a shimmering blue barrier and officially ending the match. Zhang Zio is declared the winner, and he smugly tells her to count herself lucky before striding off. Defeated and humiliated, Su Yan Ying's mind races. Her only remaining pet is the Thunder Mouse, but it has been doing nothing but eating treats since she picked it up, acting completely spoiled. She couldn't possibly send it into a fight like this. It would be a meaningless sacrifice. According to the rules, however, it's her only option. She briefly considers using a rare trainer skill to grant it a temporary 3-level boost, but even then, the power gap between a boosted level 1 mouse and a level 3 dragon demon dog would be insurmountable. As she hesitates, the crowd begins to jeer, chanting for her to fight. To her surprise, the little Thunder Mouse, sensing the hostility, hisses defiantly at its massive opponent. Just as she is about to forfeit to protect it, the mouse takes matters into its own paws, leaping onto the stage with a determined chirp. Zhang Zio laughs mockingly, ordering his pet to burn the tiny piece of trash to cinders. The match begins with the dragon demon dog unleashing a volley of fireballs. Su Yan Ying screams for her pet to dodge, but her warning is unnecessary. A brilliant blue aura of lightning crackles around the mouse as it moves with impossible speed, effortlessly weaving through the fiery projectiles. She is stunned. Where did this incredible energy come from? She watches, mesmerized, as the Thunder Mouse, looking more like a bolt of living lightning than a small rodent, continues to evade every attack with ease. She had completely misjudged its power. Zhang Zio, enraged by this turn of events, orders his dog to stop playing and torture the mouse to death. As the dog lunges for a close-range assault, Su Yan Ying instinctively activates her boost skill, enveloping the mouse in a swirling green aura. The mouse, now even faster, dodges the attack at point-blank range. The commentators are speechless. How is it so fast? One of them exclaims. Seizing the opening, Su Yan Ying commands it to attack. The Thunder Mouse responds instantly, its body crackling with an immense concentration of power. It unleashes a massive, blindingly bright blade of pure thunder that slices through the air. Su Yan Ying's eyes widen in disbelief. She recognizes the technique. It's Thunder Break, a legendary level 7 skill. The devastating attack strikes the dragon demon dog head-on, vanquishing it in a single explosive blow. A stunned silence falls over the entire arena. Zhang Ziyo stares at the smoking remains of his prized pet, his face a mask of utter shock. The silence is broken by the roar of the crowd. The commentators are in an uproar, unable to comprehend how a level 1 pet could possibly use a level 7 skill. Amidst the chaos, the judge declares the unbelievable result. Su Yan Ying is the winner. The crowd chants her name as she stands in the center of the arena, completely bewildered by what just happened. Her mind flashes back to the unassuming store owner. The mouse was just an ordinary pet a few days ago. This incredible transformation had to be his doing. Back at the store, the MC sneezes, completely unaware of the pandemonium he has caused. The judge, after recovering from his shock, announces an unprecedented ruling. Due to the extraordinary circumstances, the round's result is declared a draw, and both contestants will proceed to the final match. Zhang Ziyo, however, is not finished. His face twisted in a furious scowl, he roars that it's not over and summons his final, most powerful pet. A colossal, heavily armored rock rhino materializes on the stage, its sheer presence shaking the arena. Su Yan Ying's heart sinks. It's a level 4 earth elemental pet, a perfect counter to her Thunder Mouse in both level and attribute. The massive disadvantage is immediately apparent to everyone. The final battle begins. Zhang Ziyo wastes no time, using a flurry of trainer skills to give his rock rhino multiple boosts to its strength, agility, and defense, raising its effective level to at least 5. Su Yan Ying is too far from the stage to apply any boosts of her own. In a move that looks like pure suicide, the Thunder Mouse charges headfirst at the behemoth. But as the rhino brings its massive foot down to crush it, the mouse vanishes, replaced by a shimmering afterimage. It has used another legendary level 7 skill, Thunder Afterimage. The top trainers in the audience are now completely captivated, one of them declaring that their team will be recruiting this girl no matter what. The real Thunder Mouse has ignored the rhino entirely and is streaking directly towards the true target, Zhang Ziyo. Realizing the strategy, Zhang Ziyo panics and throws up a level 3 astral shield. It's a futile effort. The Thunder Mouse unleashes Thunder Break again, the lightning blade shattering the shield like glass and slamming into the trainer, knocking him out cold. The judge's own pet swoops in to catch his unconscious body before he hits the ground. The judge makes the final definitive announcement. Zhang Ziyo has lost. Su Yan Ying wins. The crowd erupts, chanting her name and Mouse King. She can barely believe it. It feels like a dream, but one thought is crystal clear in her mind. The seemingly ordinary owner of that tiny pet store is an unfathomably powerful hidden master. While Su Yan Ying celebrates her victory, the MC is back in his store facing a new challenge. His system-mandated task of earning 10,000 yuan in 7 days. He reviews the store's services. He has no pets to rent out, and pet training is a service that costs money, not earns it. His only viable option is to sell pet food, which requires him to personally venture into dangerous nurture lands to gather the raw materials. He curses his short-sightedness, realizing he spent 3 days in the Thundercloud SeaWorld focused only on training the mouse, completely forgetting to collect any valuable resources. With grim determination, he resolves to change his ways and become a true war pet trainer. He opens the list of nurture lands, but with only 1 energy point to his name, he's restricted to the novice rank locations. The system chides him, stating that a qualified host should always be consciously searching for resources. It then finds a suitable location for him, and he accepts, ready to make the most of this opportunity. He's teleported to a new alien world designated as Outer Territory Meteorite 1002. The system grants him a temporary inventory, a plant identification skill, and most importantly, 30 free revivals for the day. He immediately begins his search, quickly realizing the area is filled mostly with common, low-value plants. Then he spots it, a rare rock vermilion fruit, a delicacy for fire-type pets, growing precariously close to a slumbering rank 8 rock snake. Knowing that valuable items are always guarded, he formulates a risky plan. With his limited inventory space, he has to prioritize high-value targets. He makes a desperate sprint, snatching the fruit just as the snake awakens and devours him whole. His mission is a success, The fruit is safely stored in his inventory as he uses his first revival of the day. After a grueling day of being killed and revived 29 more times, he returns to his store exhausted but triumphant, his inventory full of rare and valuable ingredients. He carefully arranges his hard-won goods on the store's shelves. Elsewhere in the city, an elderly man and his 2 grandchildren are gathered around a sick pet bird, a beautiful creature named Huo. The bird has not eaten in a week. The grandson, a brash young warrior named Fang Yujing, offers it some of the most expensive pet food available, but the bird violently rejects it, coughing up a horrifying stream of black blood. The family recognizes the symptom of a deadly devour heart parasite and prepares to rush to the advanced pet hospital in the upper city. As they leave, the sick bird suddenly perks up, straining and chirping frantically towards the MC's newly stocked store. It has smelled the irresistible aroma of the rock vermilion fruit. The grandmother recalls the strange advice the store owner gave her, and a memory of the MC's shadowy figure flashes in her mind, telling her that the fruit will cure the bird. Though Fang Yujing is deeply skeptical, his grandmother is desperate and purchases a single grain of the fruit for 130 yuan. The grandson is outraged by the price, and his sister immediately suspects it's a black store using addictive chemicals to create dependency in pets. This plants a dangerous idea in Fang Yujing's head, and he vows to confront the owner. He storms into the pet store, slamming his fist on the counter and demanding to know what chemicals the MC put in his food. The MC, who has only made one sale, is confused but calmly denies the accusation. Fang Yujing presses him and threatens to call his friend from the Pet Food Association to investigate the black store. The accusation triggers the MC's temper, and a temporary mission pops up: prove the store's innocence. Before he can speak, Fang Yujing shoves his sister aside and lunges at him. The MC catches the punch with ease, but before he can retaliate, his own sister's voice rings in his head, scolding her brother for his violence. An electric shock from the system courses through Fang Yujing's body for his hostile action in the store. Realizing that violence will only tarnish his store's reputation, the MC changes tactics. He offers to give a demonstration to prove his food's purity. He calls for volunteer with a low-rank water pet, and a nervous young woman steps forward with her seal water beast. He offers the creature a blue essence fruit. The beast eagerly consumes it, and to the absolute shock of the entire crowd, is immediately enveloped in a brilliant light as it levels up right before their eyes. Everyone is speechless. An experienced trainer in the crowd explains that treasures capable of inducing instant evolution are exceedingly rare, the kind of thing one only hears about in federal legends. Convinced, Fang Yujing and his family apologize profusely. The MC, seizing the moment, sells them the 8,700 yuan blue essence fruit and recommends they purchase more rock vermilion fruit for their bird. The crowd, now believers, swarms the counter, eager to buy his miraculous products. With the 10,000 yuan he needs now in hand, the MC finally purchases the awakening potion. A brilliant golden light envelops him, and he emerges a true war pet tamer. He marvels at his newfound reflexes, effortlessly catching a fly midair. With his remaining energy points, he decides to risk upgrading the Chaos Spirit Pond, hoping to breed a powerful pet of his own. He spends 100 points on the upgrade and initiates the breeding sequence. A column of light descends into the pond, and when it fades, it reveals a tiny, unimpressive baby skeleton. The system mercilessly identifies it as the weakest type of demonic pet, with poor quality, fit only for losers. The MC is aghast that he wasted 100 energy points on this pathetic creature. Despite the disappointing result, he has completed the breeding task and is rewarded with a skill book for killing intent, a useful ability for overpowering stronger foes. A new main task is immediately assigned. He must improve one of his pet's quality to upper middle level. He looks from his insanely powerful, yet still only lower middle quality, Thunder Mouse to the pathetic skeleton and realizes the sheer difficulty of the task ahead. Just then, Su Yan Ying returns to the store, this time with a friend in tow. The MC greets her with his new nickname, 108 yuan, which she pointedly ignores before asking him what he did to her pet. He plays coy, claiming he just took it for a few walks, but the lightning rat's terrified reaction to his words confirms her suspicions. Her imagination runs wild, painting the MC as a terrifyingly powerful master. Convinced she is in the presence of greatness, she attempts to show her gratitude by transferring him 10,000 yuan. The system, enforcing its strict no-tipping policy, automatically rejects the payment. Thinking the amount is insulting, She tries again with a larger sum, and then an even larger one, growing increasingly frantic as each transfer is rejected. Finally, she goes all out, sending him 100,000 yuan. The MC, whose mouth is watering at the sight of so much money, tries to accept, but the system blocks him once more, sternly reminding him that the store's prices are fixed and he is forbidden from accepting extra payments. Exasperated, the MC tells her to stop and just state her business. She humbly asks him to nurture her lightning rat for 3 more days in preparation for her upcoming tournament. This request triggers a new system function, the official pet nurturing service. A price list appears, and for a pet of the lightning rat's level, the fee is exactly 10,000 yuan. He quotes the price and she happily accepts. The payment goes through, netting him 100 energy points, and a new side task is activated. Improve the lightning rat's combat ability by more than double. A determined grin spreads across the MC's face. He can train the lightning rat and his new baby skeleton at the same time, tackling both of his missions at once. With the audacity of a gamer selecting the hardest difficulty setting on a whim, Su Ping decides to cash in his chance to enter a random cultivation ground, opting specifically for an S-tier nightmare known as the Chaos Realm. He steps through the portal, leaving the safety of his shop for a dimension bathed in an ominous crimson light, where the air itself is heavy with the metallic tang of blood and the oppressive weight of corpse energy. He summons his team, the lowly lightning rat and the fragile baby skeleton, both looking woefully out of their depth in this hellscape. Almost immediately, the brutal reality of an S-tier realm introduces itself in the form of a colossal, demonic giant skeleton that descends upon them with the subtlety of a falling skyscraper. The encounter is short and violent. The baby skeleton is reduced to bone meal in an instant, its existence snuffed out by a casual backhand from the behemoth. Su Ping, however, treats death as a mere inconvenience, spamming the resurrection command with the desperate speed of a button-mashing novice, bringing his pets back to life only to throw them into the meat grinder again. The lightning rat unleashes a thunder slash, but the sheer disparity in power is laughable, and the creature is effortlessly crushed, its internal organs ruptured by the overwhelming force of the enemy. Undeterred by the repetitive cycle of demise, Su Ping identifies a critical weakness in the giant skeleton's asymmetrical structure and commands a resurrected baby skeleton to exploit it. He tosses a skill book into the fray, granting the little skeleton the terrifying killing intent skill, which bathes the small undead warrior in a crimson aura that screams of murder. The battle turns into a grueling war of attrition where death is a learning experience. With every resurrection, the pets grow sharper, faster, and more vicious. The lightning rat, pushed beyond its limits, unlocks a new ability, multiple thunder shadows, creating clones of itself to confuse and overwhelm the lumbering giant. The grinding finally pays off as the massive skeleton crumbles, and the system notifies Su Ping of his pet's rapid leveling, proving that what doesn't kill you, or what kills you a dozen times, makes you stronger. The baby skeleton, not content with just surviving, begins to exhibit a dark new talent called soul devouring, absorbing the lingering energy of its fallen foe to fuel its own growth. Deeper into the wasteland, the challenges escalate from lumbering giants to eldritch horrors. Su Ping finds himself ensnared by a grotesque monster that looks like a beating heart woven from muscle and tentacles, its regeneration capabilities making it nearly unkillable. The creature's purple limbs thrash and grab, pinning Su Ping in a suffocating grip while the timer on his quest ticks down ominously. In this moment of crisis, the lightning rat evolves again, manifesting a crackling thunder shield that buzzes with defensive energy, doubling its effectiveness against demonic enemies. Seizing the opening created by the rat's defensive maneuvering, the baby skeleton, now wielding a bone saber with practiced lethality, charges in. Its eyes burn with a newfound intensity as it executes a basic saberplay strike that is anything but basic, slicing through the monster's defenses with surgical precision. The victory yields a bloody gem, which the skeleton greedily absorbs, skyrocketing its combat power to level 7 and awakening a dormant Overlord bloodline within its tiny frame. With the quest complete and his pockets full of loot, including the mysterious Chaos Star map and some essence pills, Su Ping returns to the mundane reality of his shop. He immediately dives into the Chaos Star map, a cultivation method that frames the human body as a microcosm of the universe. Following the ancient instructions, he envisions his cells as stars and his meridians as galactic pathways, initiating a vortex within himself to draw an astral power. The process is intense. A golden swirl forms in his dantian, greedily devouring the ambient energy like a black hole. He pops the primary essence pills like candy, ignoring the warning that they are meant for lower levels, and brute forces his way to the third rank of the astral swirl realm. The sensation of power coursing through his veins is intoxicating, confirming that he is no longer just a shopkeeper, but a cultivator in his own right. The next morning brings a return to customer service as Su Yanying and her friend Lan Leal arrive to retrieve their pets. Yanying is greeted by a transformed lightning rat. Its fur is lusher, its eyes sharper, and its aura fundamentally changed, though she remains skeptical that a few days in a pet shop could bridge the gap between mediocrity and greatness. Su Ping, ever the businessman, upsells her on some overpriced fire spirit herb before sending them on their way. The true test comes later at the school's training grounds, where Yanying prepares for an upcoming contest. Lan Leal, looking to help her friend warm up, summons her hybrid earth monk, a towering rock-type humanoid pet that exudes defense and power. The matchup seems laughable on paper, a low-tier lightning rat against a high-tier rock golem, but as soon as the fight begins, the lightning rat explodes into motion. It unleashes multiple thunder shadows, splitting into 3 distinct forms that blitz across the arena with blinding speed. The Earth Monk, a creature designed to tank heavy hits, finds itself bewildered and outmaneuvered, unable to track the electric blur tearing through its defenses. In a shocking display of dominance, the lightning rat pounces, its claws crackling with energy as it pins the massive golem to the ground. The hybrid rock monster, usually stoic, is visibly terrified, cowering before the snarling rodent. Yanying stands stunned, realizing that her little guy has become a monster capable of bullying creatures far above its station. The Fengshan Academy's annual audition match explodes into action with the pomp and circumstance of a gladiatorial game, complete with a holographic announcer hyping the crowd for the advanced rounds where the stakes are real and the pets are terrifying. On one side stands Su Yanying, the second-year dark horse who has recently shocked everyone with her meteoric rise, and facing her is the arrogant Lai Jai, a top 10 tamer from the previous year who exudes the kind of smug confidence that usually precedes a spectacular downfall. The rules are simple, 3 pets each, last tamer standing wins, but Lai Jai wastes no time trying to end it early, summoning his water stealth beast mid-sentence in a blatant display of disrespect and tactical aggression. The crowd murmurs at this breach of etiquette, but tactical advantages care little for manners. Yet Su Yanying remains unfazed, countering immediately by summoning her phoenix, a creature whose fiery plumage radiates a heat that distorts the very air around the arena. Lai Jai, realizing his sneak attack failed against a high-rank bloodline pet, abruptly surrenders the first round to save his energy, a calculated move that draws confused gasps from the spectators, but sets the stage for more brutal confrontation. He smiles like a predator setting a trap, noting that sometimes you have to throw out bait to catch the real prey, before summoning his true contender, the hulking, armored earth spider beast, a tanky nightmare designed to grind opponents into dust. He mocks Su Yanying's phoenix, claiming a flying type can't crack his pet's defense, and launches an earthen assault with massive spikes and walls. Su Yanying's phoenix weaves through the attacks with a grace that belies its size, but the earth spider beast is relentless, deploying an earth prison that encases the bird in a cage of solid rock, trapping it as the net closes in to crush it. Just as Lai Jai begins his victory speech, savoring the despair on Yanying's face, a blinding light erupts from within the stone prison. The phoenix unleashes Polar Ray, a rank 8 skill that no pet of its level should theoretically possess, obliterating the earth cage and one-shotting the spider in a dazzling beam of destruction. The arena falls silent as the judges and VIPs lose their collective minds, unable to comprehend how a mere student's pet could master such a high-level ability, cementing Yanying's status as a terrifying anomaly. Refusing to accept humiliation, Lai Jai summons his ace in the hole, a rank 5 wind demon beast, a 4-winged horror that violates student safety protocols and screams danger with every beat of its leathery wings. The crowd panics. Teachers question the safety, but the match proceeds, and the wind demon beast moves with a speed that renders it nearly invisible, instantly overwhelming the phoenix and knocking it out of the sky with a single brutal blow. With her primary pet down and the demon beast diving for the kill, Yanying is left defenseless, or so it seems until a small blue blur intercepts the lethal attack with a casual swagger that defies physics. It's the lightning rat, the MC's masterpiece, standing firm against a monster 10 times its size. Lai Jai and the audience barely have time to process this absurdity before the lightning rat escalates the madness by casting an undead summoning skill, ripping a skeletal warrior from the netherworld to block the demon's strike. The scene descends into chaos as the lightning rat, a low-tier trash pet in the eyes of the public, proceeds to dismantle the wind demon beast with a combination of high-level lightning arts and undead summons that shouldn't even be in its skill tree. The finale is swift and humiliating. The lightning rat delivers an insta-kill, crushing the high-ranked demon beast into the arena floor with a thunderous impact that leaves the spectators questioning their understanding of reality. Back at the shop, the MC yawns through the live stream, unimpressed by the havoc he's caused by proxy, and turns his attention to nurturing a customer's Civet, casually optimizing its meridians and boosting its combat power by 20% in a few minutes, a feat that would take others months. Business is booming thanks to the free advertising, but the MC has bigger fish to fry. A fancy sports car pulls up, delivering Fan Gangly and his team, who are there to recruit him for a dangerous expedition into a newly opened stellar rift. Despite his reluctance to join a team, the system triggers a quest for a magic body-forging scripture, forcing his hand, so he agrees to register as a temporary explorer. The registration center is a hub of hardened warriors, all of whom are baffled when the scanner reveals the MC is only 18 years old, a fact that makes the veteran Captain Fan Gangly choke on his own spit. To prove he's not just a kid with a death wish, the MC is challenged to a spar by the team's vice-captain, but instead of fighting personally, he sends out his little skeleton. The tiny undead creature draws its bone saber and unleashes a medium saber play, strike so fast and heavy that it nearly decapitates the vice-captain's massive rock pet, forcing the team to hastily acknowledge that this teenager is a monster in human skin. Now officially part of the team, the MC is taken to the Federal Pioneer Warehouse to pick out gear, bypassing the market-grade trash for military-spec treasures. He selects a set of unassuming defensive gear and some strange cultivation materials, ignoring the flashy weapons, which only deepens the team's confusion about his methods. They travel to the Stellar Rift, a desolate wasteland scarred by spatial tears, where they rendezvous with another explorer named Lin Makong, a silver medal veteran with a nasty attitude and a giant snake pet that looks at the MC like he's a snack. Tensions flare immediately as Lin Makong mocks the team for bringing a kid, but the MC ignores the taunts, focusing instead on the ominously chaotic astral power drifting from the rift. As they venture deeper, they encounter a massive, asymmetrical monster, and while the rest of the team prepares for a hard fight, the MC simply observes, analyzing the creature's structure with the detached gaze of a butcher eyeing a slab of meat. The expedition begins with an ominous transition as the team steps through the spatial rift, emerging into a world that is decidedly not Earth, greeted by a towering, jagged spire of rock that pierces a twilight sky dominated by strange celestial bodies. The atmosphere is heavy, the air thick with an alien tension that puts everyone on edge, prompting Fan Gangly to remind the group that speaking their minds is crucial for survival in this unexplored wilderness. Su Ping, ever the pragmatist, finds himself in rare agreement with the sentiment, his eyes scanning the horizon where a massive, cratered moon looms uncomfortably close to the jagged landscape. As they navigate through a dense, purple-hued forest, the silence is broken by the guttural howls of distant beasts and the rustling of unseen predators, forcing the team to rely on their high-tech scanners to pathfind. Their first contact is visually deceptive. The scanners pick up a tiger tapir, a creature that appears mundane enough on the holographic display, glowing green against the dark terrain. The team, led by the arrogant silver medal explorer Lin Makong, immediately prepares to engage, dismissing the creature as a simple level 5 threat that isn't worth overthinking. However, Su Ping's instincts, honed by his system's rigorous training, scream that something is wrong. He calls for a halt, demanding the night vision binoculars to confirm his suspicions. He points out the ecological inconsistencies. Tiger tapirs are tropical creatures that require hydration and warmth, yet they are standing in a cold, dry environment where such a beast should be dormant or non-existent. Lin Makong, whose ego is as inflated as his rank, scoffs at the novice's hesitation, viewing Su Ping's caution as cowardice and ordering his pet, the Cardoso boa, to strike immediately. The attack connects, but instead of flesh and bone, the tiger tapir dissolves into a grotesque splash of energy, revealing the terrifying reality. It was a sensory illusion cast by a spirit beast to mask a far greater threat. The trap springs with lethal efficiency as the true predator reveals itself, a blood soul beast, a symbiotic horror that uses the spirit beast as a lure. Lin Makong's boa is instantly overwhelmed, its consciousness snuffed out as the massive, tentacled horror rises from the depths of a nearby lake, its presence radiating the crushing aura of a creature at least at level 9, possibly even an overlord. Panic sets in instantly. The team is outmatched, and retreat is the only option. They scramble away from the lake, the ground trembling under the weight of the monstrosity behind them. In the chaos of the escape, a leadership crisis erupts. Lai Ying frantically suggests a western route, but Su Ping, analyzing the terrain and the beast's behavior, countermands him with a shout to go east. The team hesitates, torn between the veteran vice-captain and the rookie who just correctly identified the trap, but with seconds to spare, Fan Gangli makes the executive call to follow Su Ping's lead, plunging them into a narrow canyon. The gamble pays off, but in a disturbing way. The scanners go silent, indicating that all fierce beasts in the area have vanished, a sign that usually means a predator of apex status is nearby. Yet the blood soul beast does not pursue them into the canyon. Su Ping deduces that the creature, an ambush predator by nature, has no interest in chasing lean prey through a choke point when it can simply reset its trap for the next group of fools. As they catch their breath, they stumble upon a gruesome discovery. A severed arm clad in high-grade armor, clutching a valuable piece of equipment. It's a black gold wrist guard, a treasure that implies a captain-level explorer met a grisly end right where they are standing. Su Ping retrieves the item, intending to inspect it for clues about the threat that killed its owner. But Lin Makong, driven by greed and a bruised ego, demands he hand it over immediately. The tension snaps. Lin Makong tries to physically intimidate Su Ping, but Su Ping stares him down with eyes cold enough to freeze magma. When Lin Makong reaches for his weapon, Su Ping doesn't flinch, but his little skeleton does. Moving with a speed that blurs the air, the skeleton unsheathes its blade and executes an intermediate saberplay strike, a flash of crimson energy that forces the silver metal explorer to recoil in genuine terror. The confrontation is interrupted by the arrival of the very threat that killed the previous owner of the wrist guard, a skeletal army rising from the earth, led by a towering level 8 skeleton devil that screams death. The team is instantly surrounded, their path blocked by a sea of undead. The skeleton devil is a nightmare of bone and dark energy, its ribcage acting as a mouth and its limbs sharp enough to cleave through armor like paper. Desperation takes hold, and Lin Makong, showing his true colors, suggests the unthinkable. They should abandon their astral pets to create a diversion and escape. It's a cowardly, ruthless tactic that disgusts the rest of the team, but before they can argue, Lin Makong decides to force the issue. With a malicious grin, he violently kicks Su Ping off their mount, intending to use the rookie as the bait instead. "Have fun dying here alone," he sneers, speeding away with the rest of the team who are too shocked to react immediately. Su Ping lands in the dust, surrounded by the chattering teeth of the undead horde. But instead of fear, his expression is one of dark resolve. He stands tall next to his little skeleton, the killing intent rolling off them in waves as he prepares to show the skeleton devil exactly why he is the wrong person to betray. He activates soul enslavement, a dark skill that resonates with the necromantic energy around him, turning the battlefield into his own domain. Su Ping stands amidst the ruin of the bone dimension, his silhouette framed by the swirling, ominous purple energies of the chaotic realm, having just orchestrated the destruction of a level 8 skeleton devil, with the casual ease of someone taking out the trash. The massive skeletal monstrosity crumbles into a heap of calcium and regret, sending shockwaves through the ground that nearly knock the socks off his stunned teammates, who can't quite comprehend how a pint-sized little skeleton just soloed a boss monster. A holographic system notification practically screams in Su Ping's face, announcing that his bony protege has hit level 8 and upgraded its intermediate saberplay to advanced, confirming that the little skeleton is now officially a blender with a bad attitude. The team, comprised of seasoned explorers like Fan Yujing and Lai Ying, stare in slack-jawed disbelief, their brains breaking as they try to reconcile the terrifying reality of the MC's power with his unassuming appearance, questioning if the baby skeleton is a warrior or a mage, or just a cheat code incarnate. Su Ping, ever the educator of the ignorant, calmly explains the anatomy of their defeat, pointing out that demonic pets rely on a spirit core hidden within their bodies to fuel their annoying limb regeneration abilities. He notes that as long as the core remains intact, these monsters can regrow limbs indefinitely, which essentially makes them the cockroaches of the astral world. But once you smash that core, it's game over. The team listens with rapt attention, realizing the MC isn't just a heavy hitter but a tactical genius. And when asked if he's controlling the skeleton, Su Ping gives a vague sort of. Because I have an omnipotent system in my brain is a bit of a mouthful. The victory lap is cut short when Su Ping suddenly halts the group, his instinct screaming danger just before a hidden assailant launches a lethal sneak attack from the shadows, aiming to turn Fan Yujing into a shish kebab. The little skeleton moves with blinding speed, intercepting the strike with a clash of sparks that illuminates the grim determination on its skull face. Su Ping turns his gaze toward the darkness, his eyes glowing with a menacing crimson light that promises immediate and painful retribution, and he coldly orders the ambusher to scram unless they have a death wish. The attacker, realizing they've bitten off way more than they can chew, flees like a frightened rabbit, leaving the team safe but shaken. With the immediate threat gone, they resume their hunt, tracking a set of footprints into a cavernous mouth of a cave that looks like it swallows hope for breakfast. Su Ping demands a flare gun and fires it into the abyss, the dazzling light revealing the sleeping form of their target, the blood flame-tailed fox, curled up like a fiery croissant. Mission accomplished, they head back to civilization, but the MC's work is never done. Back at the Astral Pet Store, a delivery crew drops off a massive shipment of materials, and Su Ping immediately gets to work, scanning the crates with his system interface to confirm the arrival of the rare ores he needs for his cultivation. He activates the newly acquired genuine water armor, which envelops him in a swirling blue hydro field capable of adapting to attacks, making him look like a futuristic waterbender. But the real magic happens when he feeds the ores to the Chaos Spirit Pool, unlocking the secondary foster tank, Shadow, a grim apparatus of bones and blue flame designed to supercharge pet growth, albeit with a slight penalty for non-demonic types because nothing in life is free. Just as he's contemplating the harsh economics of running a god-tier pet shop, Su Yanning bursts in, looking to thank him for turning her lightning rat into a weapon of mass destruction. Su Ping, sensing a marketing opportunity, asks her to help him film a little video, causing the poor girl to turn 50 shades of red as her mind wanders into inappropriate territories. After clarifying that he just wants a promo reel for the shop, they set up a shoot where Su Yanning summons her lightning rat, which looks deceptively cute until it starts crackling with enough electricity to power a city block. The mood shifts when Su Yanning mentions the upcoming exhibition match against Yahello, the academy champion who rides a silver snake thunder dragon beast, a creature with a name so long it's compensating for something. Yahello, the epitome of a smug rich kid with blonde hair and an ego the size of the arena, approaches them with thinly veiled arrogance, suggesting Su Yanning shouldn't use the rat to avoid embarrassment. Su Ping, recognizing a customer when he sees one, interrupts the trash talk to sell Yahello a skip-the-line pass for his shop services for a cool 500K, proving that while he loves justice, he loves money just as much. The scene shifts to the arena, where the exhibition match kicks off with explosive fanfare. Yahello summons his dragon, a majestic beast of blue scales and thunder, expecting a quick stomp, but Su Yanning's lightning rat has other plans. The rat zips around the arena like a bolt of lightning on caffeine, dodging the dragon's clumsy attacks with ease. The crowd gasps as the rat tanks a direct hit from the dragon's inferno beam, an 8th-tier skill, and shakes it off like a light breeze, leaving Yahello sweating bullets. Desperate, Yahello orders his dragon to unleash a triple-threat attack of fire, wind, and ice, turning the arena into an elemental disaster zone, but the rat counters with Thunder Shadow Clone, splitting into multiple electrical copies that weave through the chaos. Yahello panics, unable to distinguish the real rat from the fakes due to the lightning armor masking their energy signatures. In a brilliant tactical move, Su Ping, coaching from the sidelines via telepathy or just having taught her well, has the rat exploit the dragon's one weakness, the unscaled interior of its mouth. The lightning rat surges forward with Thunder Flash, bypassing the dragon's outer defenses and diving straight down its throat with a necro claw attack. The result is catastrophic for the dragon, which convulses as electricity ravages it from the inside out, finally collapsing in a heap of defeated lizard. The entire stadium goes dead silent before erupting into chaos, realizing that a low-tier lightning rat just annihilated a top-tier dragon beast. Su Yanning stands victorious, the rat chittering smugly by her side, while Yahello stares blankly at the ceiling, his worldview shattered. From the stands, Su Ping smirks, knowing that the line for his shop is about to go around the block, proving once again that in the world of astral pets, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, but the terrifying, system-upgraded power of the rat in the dragon's mouth that counts. The stadium is submerged in a stunned silence that feels heavy enough to crush bones, the air thick with the collective disbelief of thousands who just watched the impossible unfold before their eyes. As the imposing silver snake thunder dragon beast lies defeated on the arena floor, utterly humiliated by a creature that belongs in a sewer rather than a championship match. The audience's murmurs grow into a clamor of confusion, questioning whether the champion Yahello through the match or if Su Yanning had been hiding some monstrous strength all along. But the discerning eyes of the academy's elite, including the vice principal and a sharp-eyed female teacher, fixate not on the girl, but on the unassuming young man in the casual jacket who commanded the battle with the nonchalance of someone ordering takeout. While the vice principal strokes his mustache in intrigue, realizing that this mysterious, low-key student is a diamond in the rough worth nurturing, Su Ping is promptly ushered into the VIP reception room, where he lounges with a cup of tea, utterly unfazed by the grandeur of the situation or the prestigious company he's keeping. When Vice Principal Dong offers him a full scholarship and a high-grade star pet to join the academy as a student, Su Ping casually blows on his tea and declines with a flat, not interested. A rejection so blunt it nearly causes the female instructor, Teacher Luo, to have an aneurysm on the spot. The tension shifts when the vice principal connects the dots, realizing that Su Ping is the unsung hero who saved the explorer Yi Dunshan and slew an 8th-order beast in the wilderness. A revelation that transforms his offer from a student enrollment to a direct recruitment into the elite battle team with double benefits. Yet Su Ping, ever the pragmatist, negotiates for a position that offers him more freedom and resources. A special senior instructor. Teacher Luo, whose skepticism is practically radiating off her like heat waves, decides to verify his qualifications personally by leading him to the advanced test field, a high-tech chamber dominated by the menacing, skull-faced combat simulation machine known as White Marsh, capable of exerting pressure that would crush an ordinary master in seconds. As the test begins, Su Ping finds himself bombarded by energy vines and laser blasts, and instead of dodging, he decides to use this as a stress test for his newly cultivated Golden Crow Divine Demon body, letting the attacks rip his clothes to shreds, while his skin glows with an intense, fiery golden aura that signifies his transcendence beyond mortal limits. The machine ramps up its assault, unleashing a level 7 combat simulation that floods the room with blinding light and explosive force, leaving Teacher Luo terrified that they might have just killed their new hire. But as the smoke clears, the machine reports a defensive power of level 8 lower, leaving the vice principal and Luo staring at the data screen as if it were written in alien hieroglyphs. Su Ping emerges from the chamber, shirtless and looking slightly disappointed that his physical body is only at the upper 3rd level, despite the flashy energy readings. A perfectionist attitude that completely flies over the heads of the awestruck administrators who immediately hand him his electronic certification. Returning home in tatters, Su Ping runs into a domestic ambush as his mother and sister, Su Lingyu, gawk at his sudden transformation from a scrawny shut-in to a shredded Adonis, leading to a chaotic sequence where Lingyu flushes crimson and screams, "Pervert," while Su Ping casually tries to cover his dignity with a towel. After resolving the family drama and checking his bank account, which has swollen to a healthy 500,000 star coins thanks to Yahello's payment, Su Ping returns to his store the next day to find it besieged by a horde of eager customers clamoring for the Thunderlight Mouse service, a rebranding that has clearly paid off. Amidst the chaos, Teacher Luo enters, not as an evaluator but as a humble customer, bowing her head in apology for her previous rudeness and requesting professional training for her pet, a request Su Ping accepts with a grin that screams business is booming. This influx of capital allows him to finally upgrade the system store to level 2, unlocking the primary shadow clone function, a game-changing ability that lets him send an avatar to cultivate pets in dangerous realms without leaving his couch. He immediately tests this on Luo's pet, a sky fragrance pig that he renames Scorpig because he can, dispatching his shadow clone and the pig into a hellish landscape of magma and fire known as the underground lava realm, where they proceed to unleash havoc on the local flame elementals. The shadow clone, wreathed in purple energy, moves with fluid lethality, guiding the terrified pig through a gauntlet of fire frogs and flame lions, forcefully awakening the pig's dormant potential through the sheer trauma and intensity of combat. Back in the store, Su Ping watches the progress with satisfaction, knowing that his days of personal risk are over, and his era of automated, high-efficiency monster training has just begun, solidifying his path to becoming the ultimate store owner in the astral world. A storm of crimson lightning tears across a dark, turbulent sky, making people on the ground below wonder what cataclysm is unfolding. From a swirling vortex of violent red energy, a monstrous form descends, a creature of pure power and flame. The MC, Su Ping, calmly watches as the magnificent and terrifying beast fully emerges, a purgatory dragon, its body a canvas of black scales and burning magma. A holographic system screen pops into existence before him, detailing the creature's stats. A 9th-rank beast of the dragon and fire attributes, possessing a Beast King bloodline and immense combat power. The MC assesses the creature with a professional's eye, noting that its bloodline is absolutely perfect and worth a fortune, though the notoriously proud dragon clan would never allow a lesser being to touch its sacred head. The dragon glares with malevolent intent, but the MC simply smirks, reminding the beast that within the confines of his store he is utterly invincible. With surprising speed, he grabs the dragon's massive snout, forcing it to look at him as he presents a glowing contract, coolly instructing it to blink if it understands the terms of its new servitude. The dragon submits, and a system notification promptly chimes, confirming that the contract has been successfully signed. Just as one task concludes, another begins. A message appears on the MC's device, reminding Teacher Su of a public lecture at Fengshan University, scheduled to start in mere minutes, urging him to arrive early. Making a suitably epic entrance, the MC soars through the sky on the back of his newly acquired purgatory dragon, touching down on the university grounds with just 2 minutes to spare. Inside, a stern-looking man identified as the director of the operation department is fuming, complaining about the new teacher's shocking lack of punctuality on his very first day. A kind-looking female colleague, Luo, attempts to placate him, suggesting the new teacher might have simply gotten lost on the way. The director is not appeased, grumbling about how the War Department has grown lax in the principal's absence and questioning the qualifications of this mysterious new hire. Luo, showing remarkable faith, insists on taking full responsibility if Su Ping is late for the lecture. Right on cue, the MC makes his presence known, landing with a ground-shaking thud that sends dust flying, startling the assembled staff. The director bellows his name in disbelief, Su Ping, while another teacher stares wide-eyed, unable to process that this young man is their new colleague. The MC, completely unfazed by the commotion, casually remarks how exhilarating it was to ride a dragon to work. In the lecture hall, students are already gossiping, whispering about the new mentor who seems to be their age and speculating that he must have used connections to secure such a prestigious position. One ambitious student scoffs at the idea, dreaming of becoming a senior tutor himself, while his friend dismisses the MC's credentials as fake. Luo calls the class to order, but the students continue to murmur, with one boy incredulously noting that the new mentor is already a teacher at their age. A particularly arrogant blonde student challenges another, boasting that he could reach that level in 2 years. Having seen enough, the students begin to directly challenge the MC, asking him to confirm the rumor that he once decapitated a powerful monster. The MC confirms it was a rare, high-level beast but dismisses it as irrelevant to the day's lesson, promising to elaborate at a later time. Unimpressed, the arrogant blonde student stands up, demanding that the MC prove he has the ability to teach them. His skepticism is palpable as he openly questions the MC's power. Luo attempts to intervene, personally guaranteeing the MC's capabilities, but the blonde student waves her off, declaring that an oral guarantee is worthless and unconvincing. Having reached his limit, the MC decides a practical demonstration is in order, summoning his seemingly unimpressive little skeleton pet. The students erupt in laughter, mocking the cute little thing and comparing it to pets they had as children. Luo, ever supportive, tells the MC not to worry, assuring him that she will take full responsibility for any collateral damage to the expensive classroom. With a confident smirk, the MC tells her not to worry, as he has no intention of hurting anyone. The little skeleton, bone sword in hand, suddenly erupts with an aura of terrifying power. A female student with a yellow headband scoffs, questioning what a lowly devil pet could possibly do. In a blinding flash of crimson light, the little skeleton executes a flawless, advanced-level swordsmanship technique, unleashing a wave of pure destructive energy. The force of the attack rips through the lecture hall, carving a massive, smoking trench in the reinforced floor and back wall, leaving the students and staff utterly speechless. The arrogant blonde student and the dismissive female student stare in abject horror, their faces pale with shock and fear at the unbelievable display of power. The entire room is silent, still processing the sheer destructive force they just witnessed. The whispers start again, this time filled with awe and terror, as students realize the little skeleton is in fact a legendary skeleton king. The blonde student, now humbled, trembles as he admits that his own Silver Viper's thunder wouldn't last 2 seconds against such a creature. Another teacher, examining the catastrophic damage, is dumbfounded, explaining that the classroom was built with materials worth millions, designed to withstand an 8th-degree beast's assault, yet it was nearly obliterated by a single attack from a mere skeleton. The MC calmly turns to the class and asks if there are any more questions, only to be met with a sea of bowed heads and absolute terrified silence. The rest of the lecture proceeds without a single interruption, the students too frightened to even breathe loudly. After the uniquely quiet class, the vice principal, Chen Shan, personally gives the MC a ride home, a gesture of immense respect. He praises the MC for effortlessly taming the notoriously unruly third-year students on his very first day. Before he can get to the real reason for his flattery, they are approached by a man in a white lab coat who enthusiastically greets the MC as Boss Su. The man, Yimu, politely greets the vice principal before explaining that he has a secret and urgent matter to discuss with the MC, for which he would be handsomely compensated. The vice principal clarifies the situation, revealing the true topic is an invitation to the prestigious Global Elite Pet Master League, an event held every 3 years. He extols the virtues of the league, highlighting the incredible prizes and the ultimate reward, personal guidance from a legendary fighting master, a feat that could secure one's future. He makes a generous offer, guaranteeing the MC a spot in the league along with a full year's salary as a bonus just for showing up. The MC, however, flatly refuses the offer, stating he has no interest in participating. He explains his reasoning. He already has enough fame to make a comfortable living, and becoming a global celebrity would only make him a target, preferring the quiet safety that his system provides. Seeing his primary offer rejected, Yimu switches tactics, extending an invitation to a hidden ground instead. He reveals they have secured access to one of the legendary secret realms, Hodge's Tomb, a place fundamentally different from the usual Starfield cracks. These special realms, he explains, lead to the ruins of ancient, hyper-advanced civilizations, filled with priceless artifacts and lost knowledge that could change the very laws of the universe. The MC's interest is immediately piqued as Yimu mentions another such realm, Mount Longtai. The pieces click into place in the MC's mind. He realizes this is the system's doing, a premeditated event designed to grant him access to these treasure troves, a perfect opportunity he cannot pass up. Back at his now-booming pet store, the MC finds a massive queue of eager customers stretching down the street. Business is so good that he has to close up early, much to the dismay of those still waiting in line. Once alone, he muses on the double-edged sword of his newfound popularity before accessing his system's Cultivating Sites interface. Just as he suspected, the secret realm of Mount Longtai is now available. He instructs the system to search for all advanced breeding grounds related to dragons. The system presents a tantalizing option: Inheritance Illusion Dragon King Inheritance Land, costing a steep 2,000 energy. When the MC questions the high price and its illusion nature, the system clarifies that unlike normal cultivation sites where one can take items, an inheritance illusion is for pure combat training against the strongest opponents imaginable, and more importantly, it contains a king's soul, the essence of a god, waiting for a worthy successor. Convinced, the MC spends the energy and enters the illusionary realm. He finds himself in a strange, ethereal space where he first encounters a weak Oigetsu dog. A system prompt informs him that the dog's master died unexpectedly, and the MC, taking pity on it, offers the creature a new home with him. His peaceful exploration is cut short by the sudden appearance of a colossal dragon skeleton dominating the landscape. A deep, ancient voice echoes through the realm, stating, "I have been waiting a long time," before offering the MC a chance to undertake the Yuan inheritance test. The MC accepts without hesitation. In response, a magnificent 9-tiered golden tower, the column Naga, erupts from the ground. The voice explains that to qualify for the final inheritance, he must ascend all 9 levels. It reveals a further complication. Its divine dragon scales have been scattered and corrupted, spawning countless monsters that he must defeat to purify their demon's gold and reclaim the king's soul. The first level begins, plunging the MC into a disorienting, pitch-black labyrinth. He summons his Moonchaser dog to help navigate, but the echoing roars seem to come from everywhere at once, a clever trick of the environment. He soon realizes it's not a ghost, but the very architecture of the place, designed to disrupt sound and direction. As he feels his way through the darkness, a massive stone statue, a silent guardian, springs to life and attacks with blinding speed. Before the MC can even activate a defensive skill, the statue's weapon finds its mark, killing him instantly. Thanks to the system, he is immediately resurrected on the spot. Annoyed at his slow reaction time, he resolves to rely on his other senses. Closing his eyes, he focuses on the flow of star power around him, learning to perceive his surroundings without sight. This new awareness allows him to discern that the relentless killing spree from the statue is just another illusion designed to instill panic. Seeing through the deception, he successfully passes the first test. A flood of system notifications follows, informing him that all of his pets have gained combat experience, and most notably, his little skeleton has learned the powerful new skill, dragon slaying. Returning to reality, the MC reflects on his training. He had managed to climb to the 8th floor of the tower, but the guardian of the 9th floor proved too powerful, even for his newly upgraded little skeleton. The next morning, he opens his shop to find an even larger crowd than before, buzzing with anticipation. He overhears a girl with purple hair loudly complaining about some useless guy who is somehow a senior instructor. The moment the MC appears, the crowd erupts, greeting him like a returning hero. His sister watches from the side, completely baffled by her brother's sudden rock star status. A path clears as a confident young man, identified as Yahello, the Academy's current champion, strides forward. The purple-haired girl gasps, worried that her brother has somehow angered this influential figure. Without a word, Yahello summons his own impressive pet, a massive silver snake thunder dragon beast, which materializes in the street with a flash of lightning, causing the crowd to scatter in panic. Yahello, looking directly at the MC, asks if he's considered the problem of caring for such a high-level beast. The MC, completely unintimidated, acknowledges that he hasn't personally bred a dragon beast before, and muses that being unable to handle high-star pets might cost him valuable customers. Deciding it's time for another demonstration, he calmly summons his own dragon. The Purgatory Candle Dragon Beast appears, and its oppressive aura, its long way, washes over the area, instantly causing Yahello's powerful beast to shrink back and cower in absolute terror. Yahello is stunned, not just by the fear in his pet, but by the sheer, overwhelming might of the MC's dragon. The MC explains the phenomenon to the humbled champion. It's not just about power, but about bloodline. The gap between a true 9th-rank beast and all others is insurmountable. His Purgatory dragon was born with its innate power, whereas Yahello's had to struggle to learn a fraction of it. Yahello gracefully accepts his defeat, having learned a valuable lesson. As the crowd disperses, the MC checks his system finances. He's accumulated over 43,000 energy points, but the level 3 store upgrade requires a staggering 100,000 energy and the purchase of a 3,000 square foot property, a goal that seems impossibly far away. He desperately wants the upgrade, as it would allow him to move his family into the safety of the system-protected store. Wondering how to make millions fast, he considers his options. He dismisses becoming a pioneer as too dangerous and borrowing money as too slow and complicated. Then an idea strikes him. He accesses the official Longjiang Star Pet Tutor website, a place for certified instructors to offer their services. He's shocked by the fees, especially those of a Bishop Dragon-class tutor who charges an unbelievable 1 million per hour. As he scrolls, he notices a conspicuous absence. There are no high-level tutors specializing in undead pets. At that moment, a private message pops up from a user named Longjiang One Handsome, giving him a potential new direction. The MC, having identified a lucrative new market, receives a message from the user Longjiang One Handsome, who provides an address and eagerly awaits their meeting. A quick payment secures him a ride, and he soon finds himself in a high-end district, the cost of living clearly astronomical. As he approaches a sleek modern building, 2 imposing security guards step forward, informing him that the area is restricted. The MC calmly provides the name Zhu Quang, and the guard's demeanor instantly shifts, recognizing him as an expected guest and respectfully ushering him inside. He's led to a state-of-the-art battle hall where a young man, Zhu Kuang, is in the middle of intense training against a sophisticated robotic opponent. Zhu Kuang, dissatisfied with the challenge, demands the robot's protection level be increased to its maximum, Tier 4 upper rank. Even against this heightened difficulty, he unleashes a powerful wolf bites fist technique, shattering the machine's defenses with a single explosive strike. An automated voice announces the robot's shutdown due to excessive energy loss as a staff member informs Zhu Kuang that his long-awaited guest has arrived. Zhu Kuang turns, a confident smirk on his face, and greets the MC, who is silently taking in the impressive, university-sized training ground. One of Zhu Kuang's friends scoffs, rudely telling the MC to get lost and not interrupt their practice. The MC ignores the comment and directly addresses Zhu Kuang, confirming he is the tutor contacted online. Zhu Kuang is taken aback, his expression souring as he realizes the senior inspector he'd been so respectful to online is this ordinary-looking young man. He feels utterly humiliated, having been so formal and even using emojis with someone who now appears to be a fraud, and the thought fills him with a burning rage. He glares at the MC, his mind screaming that he wants to kill him for the disrespect. The MC, however, senses his killing intent with unnerving calm, correctly guessing that Zhu Kuang feels he's been misjudged. He issues a challenge, telling the arrogant young master to gather all his star power into his right hand and strike him with everything he has. Zhu Kuang accepts, but as he tries to summon his power, he finds it strangely sluggish and difficult to control, as if it were constipated. The star power, which should flow freely, feels compacted and refuses to be drawn out, a phenomenon he's never experienced. The MC coolly reveals the truth. He is the one suppressing Zhu Kuang's power. This revelation shatters Zhu Kuang's arrogance. He realizes the MC isn't just strong, but possesses a level of control over star power that should be impossible for someone his age, a power that allows him to fly and manipulate the very air around them. He concludes that the MC must have deliberately hidden his true strength, a builder of a foundation so profound it defies belief. Humbled but still defiant, Zhu Kuang accepts the challenge and summons his two main pets, a 6th-rank swampy crawler and a spirit animal, both formidable undead creatures. The MC notes that the dry, sandy arena is a tactical disadvantage for the swamp-based pet, a clear sign of its master's inexperience. As the pets charge, the MC activates his golden crow demon physique, preparing to counter their assault. He easily sidesteps the swampy crawler's attack, criticizing Zhu Kuang's simplistic tactics. Deciding to end the lesson quickly, he takes a deep breath and unleashes a skill honed in the Dragon King's inheritance land, a powerful dragon roar, amplified by his own star power. The terrifying sound wave slams into Zhu Kuang's pets, who immediately freeze, their bodies trembling in primal fear. Zhu Kuang himself is stunned, his ears ringing as he recognizes the sound as a high-level dragon beast's signature ability, something no human should be capable of producing. The MC explains that his roar, while only a fraction of a true Dragon King's power, was more than enough to terrify beasts accustomed to fighting weaker opponents. He further critiques Zhu Kuang's battle strategy, pointing out that both of his pets, while physically well-grown, are tactically inept. Zhu Kuang, now thoroughly humbled, begins to vent his frustrations, explaining his love for the dominate and cool undead pets, but lamenting the scarcity of reliable information and the strange looks he gets from tutors and classmates, making him feel isolated. The MC listens patiently before revealing the solution to Zhu Kuang's problem. A legendary Pluto bone lotus, a priceless treasure capable of greatly improving the comprehension of undead pets. He offers it as a meeting gift, stunning Zhu Kuang into silence. Then, with perfect business acumen, he presents his bill. 2 million for the lotus, plus his tutoring fee and even taxi fare. Zhu Kuang, realizing he stumbled upon a long-term supplier of incredibly rare items, eagerly agrees to the price, his mind racing with the potential for future profit. After giving some final tactical advice, the MC departs, leaving a dazed Zhu Kuang to realize he forgot to get his senior's contact information. The MC returns home late to a surprisingly lavish meal prepared by his sister. He devours the food, and his sister peeks from the kitchen, pleased to see him enjoying it so much. Later that night, the MC reflects on his own limitations. His combat power is impressive, but his core strength is still stuck at the 3rd tier. He decides the only way to quickly break through his bottleneck is to purchase an original power pill from the system shop. He opens the store interface, but the pill isn't available. Seeing he has over 65,000 energy points, he decides to spend 100 to refresh the inventory. The refresh doesn't yield the pill, but it does present a tantalizing item. A medium-level trap ring for 10,000 energy with a 25% chance to capture a 9th-level beast. Seeing it as a valuable insurance policy, he purchases it immediately. He refreshes again, and this time an even more expensive item appears. A Battle Pet Master skill book for a staggering 50,000 energy. Intrigued by the skill's spiritual control, he weighs the immense cost against the potential for a game-changing ability and decides to take the gamble. He confirms the purchase, and the 50,000 energy vanishes from his account. The skill book appears in his hands as a shimmering golden tome before dissolving into light and merging with his consciousness. He discovers that the spiritual control is a junior-level skill that grants him the ability to use his star power to telekinetically control objects. This is a monumental ability, as directly influencing matter with star power is typically a skill reserved for 9th-level masters. He tests his newfound power by levitating his wallet, discovering that while the principle is incredible, his current strength limit is only about 100 katas, making it impractical for serious combat just yet. A few days later, while cycling to the university for a lecture, he uses the spiritual control skill to augment his speed, pushing the bike's wheels with telekinetic force and effortlessly overtaking cars on the road. Upon arriving at Fengshan University, he is immediately confronted by a group of arrogant students from the rival Jianlin Academy. They are looking for Yihao and begin harassing a lone Fengshan student. The MC calmly steps in to intervene, but the Jianlin students, led by a particularly cocky young man named Dai Yan, mock him and his school. The MC stands his ground, unflinching, and makes a strange offer. They can hit him, but they cannot insult Fengshan. Before they can react, he coolly tells them to let the other students go. As the situation escalates, Yihao and Su Lingyu arrive, recognizing the MC as Boss Su. The Jianlin students, unimpressed, continue their taunts, making fun of the MC's antique bicycle. One of them moves to destroy it, but the MC simply says, "I think hiking suits you better," and the student suddenly trips and falls flat on his face as if pushed by an invisible force. Enraged, another student attacks, summoning a golden maned bear Direclaw. The MC, stating he's in a hurry for class, asks if they all want to fight at once. The scene shifts to the vice-chancellor's office, where officials from both schools are meeting. The Jianlin representatives are smugly reminding their Fengshan counterparts of their long-standing dominance in the annual exchange match. Their meeting is interrupted by a frantic call informing the Fengshan vice-chancellor that his students have been attacked and hospitalized, making them unable to compete. The Jianlin officials burst into unrestrained laughter at the news. The enraged vice-chancellor confronts the injured Jianlin students, who spin a tale of being ambushed by a ruthless Fengshan student. They describe their attacker as a short-haired male with the surname Su. At the mention of the name, the Jianlin vice president's smug expression vanishes, replaced by one of shock and recognition. The MC, meanwhile, receives a call from the principal, who already knows everything. The MC explains that he was provoked, but admits he may have been a bit rough. The principal informs him that his victims were Jianlin's top competitors and tells him to lay low. Realizing the other side is suppressing the testimony of the two Fengshan students who witnessed the event, the MC decides to take matters into his own hands. He contacts his new client Zhu Quang for help. On the day of the competition, the arena is packed. The crowd is buzzing with the news of the ambush, and sentiment is firmly against Fengshan. When the teams are announced, Fengshan's side consists of only one person, Yihao. The Jianlin team and their supporters mock him relentlessly, demanding that Fengshan apologize for their shady tactics. As the jeers reach a fever pitch, Su Lingyu recognizes the surname being cursed by the crowd. Just as the Jianlin team is about to claim victory by default, the MC makes a dramatic entrance, ready to fight. He wastes no time, summoning a colossal, terrifying black dragon of darkness that dwarfs all other pets on the field. The Jianlin team summons their 5 pets, but they are utterly insignificant. In a single, devastating attack, the MC's dragon obliterates all 5 opposing beasts, leaving the entire stadium in stunned silence. The match turns into a brutal, one-sided beatdown, with the MC torturing the helpless Jianlin students. The referee, who is clearly biased, refuses to stop the fight. Su Lingyu watches in horror, realizing this is no longer a game for her brother. It's a punishment. Just as the situation threatens to boil over completely, an old, powerful-looking official appears behind the fuming Giantland vice president. The man announces that his personal intervention has saved the old man a lot of trouble and then turns to the arena, his gaze locking onto the MC. With an air of authority, he asks, "Is your name Sue?" The MC, still in the ring, nonchalantly replies that he's just hanging out and asks if the old man has business with him. The old man, a high-ranking official from Giantland, coolly surveys the scene. The MC, however, is unfazed, retorting that his sister had begged him to come over, a statement that leaves Su Lingyu blushing furiously. The official, dismissing the MC's youth, demands that he hand himself over for punishment, but the MC stands his ground, stating that this is his territory and no one will be taken without conclusive proof. He calmly faces down the enraged official, admitting he hit the students but questioning if there's any problem with that, given they lost to his superior skill. The Giantland vice president, Fei Yanbo, sneers, stating the MC is just a senior tutor with a mere fourth-tier star power, hardly a threat. The old man, however, senses something more, a hidden depth to the MC's power, and decides to test him. The MC agrees to a bet. He will not only refuse to apologize, but will make both the old man and Fei Yanbo bow their heads in submission. Fei Yanbo, incensed by this arrogance, steps forward to fight, but the MC's principal warns him of the grave consequences of a formal duel between mentors from rival academies. A loss would tarnish the school's reputation and could even lead to the losing mentor's resignation. The MC, however, dismisses the Academy's honor, which he sees as nothing more than a history of being repeatedly beaten by Giantland. He accepts the challenge without a second thought. As the impromptu duel is announced, the students buzz with excitement, though none believe the young MC stands a chance against the veteran Fei Yanbo. Fei Yanbo is the first to enter the arena, his powerful leap cracking the ground, a clear display of his rank 8 battle pet master strength. The MC, in a show of absolute dominance, simply floats into the air, an ability reserved for those at the title level, leaving the entire stadium in stunned silence. The Giantland officials are dumbfounded, unable to comprehend how such a young person could have reached the 9th level. Su Lingyu and Yihao stare in disbelief, their minds reeling as they try to process that the MC is a title-level foundation builder. The MC, looking down on his opponent with an air of superiority, casually asks if Fei Yanbo is still ready to fight. Fei Yanbo, though shaken, concludes that the MC must have focused solely on cultivating star power, leaving his actual fighting skills underdeveloped. He summons his prized pet, an 8th-ranked purple shadow demon fox. The crowd gasps at the sight of the powerful 8-tailed beast, recognizing it as one of the most ferocious Thunder System pets. The MC, unimpressed, remarks that it's a coincidence. He too has a pet with 8th-level combat strength. He summons his Purgatory Candle Dragon Beast, and its overwhelming Longway aura washes over the arena, causing even the spectators behind the protective barrier to feel a chill of primal fear. The officials immediately order the energy barrier to be raised to its maximum level, a testament to the immense power radiating from the two beasts. The MC notes that while his dragon is only at the lower 8th rank, he is confident it can defeat its upper-rank opponent. The purple shadow fox attacks first, unleashing its 8-fold lightning skill, a storm of electrical energy that fills the arena. The MC, however, remains calm, recognizing the attack pattern from his intense training in the Inheritance Land. He uses his own Dragon Roar to momentarily stun the fox. He then reveals a surprising new skill, the Thunder Shadow Afterimage, a 7th-order lightning-type ability that creates multiple identical copies of himself, each capable of attacking. Fei Yanbo is caught completely off guard as the afterimages surround his pet. The MC reveals his trump card. His afterimages are not just illusions. They are all real, a perfected version of the skill that makes it impossible to distinguish the main body. He had seen this very trick before and knew exactly how to counter it. He unleashes a barrage of thunderball attacks, relentlessly bombarding the trapped purple shadow fox. Fei Yanbo, in a desperate attempt to save his pet, orders it to smash the dragon's mouth to pieces. The MC, with a cold smile, simply says, "Who said?" Just as the lightning attack is about to hit, the Purgatory Dragon reveals its own hidden skills, rock armor and rattan armor, high-level defensive abilities from the rock and plant systems. The powerful thunder attack dissipates harmlessly against the layered defenses, leaving only a few minor cracks. The MC explains his philosophy. The pride of the Dragon Clan means nothing if you're dead. His dragon, having been repeatedly crushed by stronger opponents in training, has learned the value of a good defense. With the demon Fox's ultimate attack nullified, the MC orders his dragon to finish it. Fei Yanbo, unwilling to accept defeat, summons his final pet, a 9th-level abyssal demon snake, a creature of immense power. The MC, however, remains unimpressed, stating that since his opponent has brought out a 9th-rank beast, he no longer needs to show mercy. He summons his own secret weapon, the little skeleton. The skeletal warrior, now radiating an aura of palpable cold and fear, appears on the field, its very presence causing the mighty abyssal snake to recoil in terror. Before Fei Yanbo can comprehend what's happening, the little skeleton moves with impossible speed, a blur of motion that ends with its bone sword effortlessly slicing through the 9th-level beast, killing it instantly. Fei Yanbo can only stare in horror, his mind unable to process the instantaneous defeat of his most powerful pet by a lowly skeleton. The MC, victorious, turns to the stunned Giantland officials, who are now trying to prevent him from leaving, and asks if they want him to explain things further. He connects to the arena's widescreen, and the faces of the 2 supposedly comatose Fengshan students appear, looking perfectly healthy. They recount the true story of the initial assault, revealing that the Giantland students were the aggressors. The Giantland team's lies are exposed, and their leader, Dai Yan, collapses in shame. The Giantland officials, utterly defeated, offer a hasty apology, but the MC is not finished. He demands that Fei Yanbo get on his knees and apologize for his arrogance. When the proud mentor hesitates, the MC reminds him that he lost the duel and therefore has no right to speak. With a final, crushing statement, he declares that their relationship is not one of friendship, but of submission. Fei Yanbo, his spirit broken, slowly kneels before the entire stadium. The MC's victory and the subsequent store's popularity create a massive queue of new customers. His sister, Su Lingyu, is among them, wanting to cultivate her own pet. She's shocked by the 100,000 yuan fee for a medium-level pet, but is determined to earn it herself. The MC, however, is warned by the system that he cannot offer private discounts. He relents, giving his sister a priceless pyro blade and promising to help her find a way to pay for his services. That night, he decides to enter the Dragon Scale land again to train, selecting a challenge to survive for 10 minutes against a 9th-rank Golden Scale bearded dragon. He sends in his little skeleton first, which is immediately locked in a fierce battle with the massive beast. The MC joins the fray, but his 6th-level combat power is no match for the dragon. He is quickly killed, only to be resurrected by the system. After a brutal trial, he finally succeeds, and all his pets receive massive power-ups. Most notably, his Moonchaser dog evolves into a dark dragon dog, its lineage jumping from 1st to 7th order. Back in reality, the MC begins a new, more efficient training regimen in the Dragon Scale land, using his newly evolved pets to clear out monsters with ease. His pets continue to level up and learn new, powerful skills, including the Purgatory Dragon's Dragon Backer, a defensive move that turns it into a living battering ram. He finally receives the reward for completing the professional training task, an intermediate force pill, and a random god and demon warfare manual. The manual teaches him the suppressing demon god fist, a powerful 5-form fighting style perfectly suited for his golden crow physique. He immediately enters a special training dimension to master the first form, a process that takes a grueling month and a half, but leaves him with the power to kill 9th-rank enemies. He emerges from his training, his body brimming with newfound power, ready for the next challenge. The MC finds himself at Pioneering Base No. 7, where he's been recruited as a foreign aide for the Baiken team led by Captain Nai Chengkong. Another team member, Mr. Mo, questions the need for 2 outsiders, especially when their own team is so strong. Captain Nai, however, is confident in his decision, revealing that their goal is a specific, heavily guarded secret treasure. He explains that while his team is reputable, they lack the raw numbers and experience for such a dangerous mission, hence the need for reinforcements. Just as they are about to discuss the distribution of the loot, the MC arrives, escorted by Yi Chenshin. Captain Nai introduces the MC to the others, but Mr. Mo is immediately dismissive, scoffing at the MC's seemingly weak star power and questioning his qualifications to be the first to choose from the treasures. Yi Chenshin quickly intervenes, vouching for the MC by revealing his incredible feat of slaying an 8th-rank monster, a claim that silences the doubters. With the team assembled, they make their way to the entrance of the Longtai Mountain secret realm, a towering, treacherous peak known as the Dragon Terrace. As they begin their ascent, the MC learns of the unwritten rule: no fighting or summoning pets on the Dragon Terrace, a measure to prevent accidental falls and maintain order. This rule, however, is blatantly ignored by members of the powerful Kin and Tang families, who are engaged in a flashy, destructive battle on the narrow mountain path, causing a dangerous rock slide that threatens everyone below. The MC, unimpressed by the slow-falling rocks, takes command, effortlessly coordinating the team to shatter the debris before it can cause any harm, a display of leadership that impresses Captain Nai. At the summit, a massive crowd has gathered. The Tang family, led by the formidable Xiong Feng duo, Feng Mo and Zhuo Fengquin, and their young master, Tang Ruyan, make a grand entrance, clearly intending to dominate the Dragon Bone Tower challenge. Their rivals, the Qin family, led by their own young master, Qin Shaoshan, arrive shortly after, and the two factions immediately begin posturing, their rivalry palpable. Just as their verbal sparring is about to escalate, a powerful voice silences the entire crowd. The secret realm has opened. A legendary figure known as Dao Zun, the #1 powerhouse below the legends, appears and orders everyone to enter. His authority is absolute, and even the arrogant young masters of the great families obey without question. However, just as the Tang family is about to step forward, the MC calmly walks past them, ignoring their stunned silence and entering the realm first, a bold act of defiance that leaves everyone speechless. The Tang family retainers are furious, but Dao Zun, with a single devastating palm strike that carves a massive trench in the ground, makes it clear that he will not tolerate any challenges to his authority. The MC, untouched by the attack, simply thanks the senior for his intervention, earning a moment of begrudging respect from the legendary warrior. Inside the secret realm, the MC is greeted by the familiar voice of the Dragon King, offering him the inheritance test once again. He accepts, eager to test his newfound strength. He enters the Dragon Bone Tower, and outside, the other pioneers watch in astonishment as the lights of the tower begin to illuminate, floor by floor, at an impossible speed. The 6th, 7th, and 8th floors light up in quick succession, a feat no one has ever accomplished so quickly, leaving the Tang and Qin families, who were so confident in their own abilities, in a state of utter shock. Inside, the MC, having effortlessly cleared the first 8 floors, unleashes the full power of his suppressing demon fist on the final guardian, completely obliterating it and shattering the top of the tower itself. Having proven his strength, he rejoins his team, who are still marveling at the mysterious challenger who conquered the tower. They venture into the dragon-scale continent No. 92, a desolate, dangerous landscape. The MC's newly evolved dark dragon dog immediately detects enemies, but the team's other scouts, a 9th-level Earthfire sleeping sound beast and a holy flame bird, find nothing. The other team members mock the MC's overly sensitive pet, but their laughter is cut short when a massive swarm of windwing pythons, each at least 9th rank in threat level, erupts from the ground, surrounding them completely. The team prepares for a desperate battle, with their strongest members summoning their most powerful pets, including a 9th rank Mordo beast and a scythe guard. The MC, however, remains calm, simply appreciating the kindness of his teammates who offer to protect his weak pet. As the battle rages, the Earthfire beast uses its stealth ability to hide the team, but the MC's dark dragon dog is nowhere to be seen. They soon spot it, a blur of light weaving through the swarm of pythons, effortlessly dodging attacks and taking no damage, its defensive capabilities proving to be absolutely monstrous. The python leader, an 8th rank upper-level beast, appears, but even its powerful attacks are useless against the dog's impenetrable defenses. The MC, having seen enough, orders his pet to end the fight. The dark dragon dog unleashes a deafening dragon roar, a wave of pure power that annihilates the entire python swarm in an instant. The team is left speechless, their minds struggling to comprehend the sheer, overwhelming power of the MC's inferior pet. He casually collects the spoils, offering the valuable python scales to his stunned teammates as a gift. They continue their journey, following a treasure map provided by Captain Nai. The MC, having explored this exact location in the Dragon King's inheritance land, knows the map is a setup, and that a powerful 9th Order beast guards the so-called treasure. He tries to warn the others, but they, trusting the map and their own senses, dismiss his concerns. They set up an ambush at the cave's entrance, but the MC, knowing the beast won't be lured out so easily, decides to go in alone. Captain Nai, worried for his safety but also intrigued by the promise of a rare star cloud spirit tree within the cave, decides to follow. Inside, the MC reveals the truth about the tree and the guardian, a cunning flame scale blood flood dragon, a sub-dragon species with a penchant for mental attacks. He then produces a requiem lamp, a treasure from the inheritance land that can resist spiritual attacks, and leads the stunned Captain Nye deeper into the cave. Just as they are about to reach the tree, the MC senses danger. The other teams have arrived, drawn by the commotion. He realizes they are in danger and rushes back, only to find them under attack by the very beast he warned them about. The team is being overwhelmed, their illusions and attacks useless against the powerful dragon. The MC arrives just in time, his presence a beacon of hope for his beleaguered teammates. He uses the soul lamp to break the dragon's illusions and then confronts a new threat. The Fang team, who reveal they were the ones who orchestrated the entire setup, using the MC's team as bait. The leader of the Fang team mockingly reveals that the treasure map was a plant from the very beginning. As the flame-scaled dragon prepares to attack again, the MC summons his little skeleton and activates his hunting ring, a powerful artifact that ensnares the 9th-rank beast, immobilizing it completely. With the flame-scaled blood flood dragon ensnared by the hunting ring, the MC's team looks on in stunned silence. The Fang team, equally shocked, questions what just happened to the mighty beast. The MC, surrounded by the corpses of the Fang team's ambushers, finds himself face to face with his fallen teammates, Mo Lao and Chen Long, their bodies still warm. Captain Nai Chenkong, barely clinging to life, has one final, desperate request, that the MC take the Star Cloud Spirit Tree back for his terminally ill daughter. With his dying breath, he entrusts his last hope to the MC, who solemnly accepts the responsibility. He leaves the cave, only to be confronted by the leader of the Fang team, who is still attempting to process the impossible scene before him. The MC, using his spiritual control skill, dispatches the remaining ambushers with invisible needles of star power, a terrifying display of his title-level abilities. The Fang team leader, his own powerful pets killed in an instant, begs for his life, offering all his treasures in exchange for mercy. The MC, however, is not interested in treasure. He calmly states that he came here specifically to kill, and that those he decides to kill are never given a chance to resist. With a final, chilling statement, he executes the last of the Fang team, ensuring they die with fear and doubt. He then orders his purgatory dragon to burn the bodies, leaving no trace of the massacre. Back at the pioneering base, the MC parts ways with the surviving members of the Baiken team, entrusting them with the Star Cloud Spirit Tree and the other treasures to be distributed among the families of the fallen. He keeps only a few items for himself, explaining that he has his own treasures to find. At the Federal Security Inspection Office, the MC's seemingly mundane collection of treasures passes without issue, but Luo Guksu's Star Cloud Spirit Tree, a 9th-level treasure, attracts the unwanted attention of 2 arrogant security officers. They try to bully her into selling it, but the MC steps in, his presence immediately escalating the situation. He effortlessly blocks a strike from one of the 8th-rank officers, a feat that leaves them stunned and reveals his own hidden power. Just as a full-blown fight is about to break out, the legendary Dao Zun appears, his voice booming through the hall. He reminds the greedy officers of their place and then turns his attention to the MC, acknowledging his strength and offering a piece of advice. The path to true power is not found in hiding one's abilities. Inspired by this, the MC unleashes a fraction of his true power, condensing his star power into a visible, golden aura, a clear sign of his title-level mastery. The entire room is thrown into chaos as everyone realizes they are in the presence of a 9th-level master. The 2 officers who had tried to bully him are now terrified, their arrogance replaced with groveling fear. The MC, having made his point, takes the Star Cloud Spirit Tree and places it into his system's storage, an act that further solidifies his mysterious and powerful reputation. He demands a hefty compensation of 60 million star coins from the disgraced officers, which they readily agree to pay. He then gives the tree back to Luo Guksu, along with a promise to provide her with a Star Cloud Spirit fruit for free when she reaches the 8th-order bottleneck, a gesture of immense generosity. Having concluded his business, he sets off for the dragon-scale continent No. 98, a place he knows from his inheritance land training holds a peerless secret treasure. He dives into the deep ocean, his dark dragon dog standing guard, and finds a hidden underwater palace containing a Jiangshan Sheji map, a powerful artifact that can create its own small world. He then sets his sights on another treasure, the undead demon fruit, a perfect item for his little skeleton. He tracks down the previous owners, a group from the Tang family, only to find they have already claimed the fruit. He confronts them, and the title-level old man, Feng Lao, who leads the group, tries to intimidate him. The MC, however, is not interested in talk. He uses his incredible speed to snatch the box containing the fruit right out of the old man's hands. Enraged, Feng Lao attacks with a powerful palm strike, but the MC, now a master of the suppressing demon fist, meets it head-on, his own power proving to be more than a match. The old man, shocked by the MC's strength, summons a 9th-rank Shura phantom beast. The MC counters by summoning his own purgatory dragon and dark dragon dog, layering them with an absurd number of defensive skills. The phantom beast's attack is completely nullified, and the MC uses his dragon backer skill to send it flying, a move that leaves Feng Lao and his retainers utterly stunned. The old man then unleashes his ultimate attack, a massive golden hand of pure energy, but the MC counters with his own suppressing demon fist, shattering the attack and forcing the old man to summon his other powerful pets, a storm tree spirit king and a Helgala beast. The MC, in turn, summons his little skeleton, which effortlessly dispatches the spirit king, and then engages in a fierce battle with the Gala beast, its high knife skills proving to be far superior. As the battle rages, Tang Ruyan unleashes a barrage of star power swords, but the MC, with a single powerful punch, shatters them all. Feng Lao, seeing the tide turning against them, attempts a desperate, soul-stealing secret technique, sacrificing his own body to possess the MC's. The technique fails, however, blocked by the Requiem lamp that the MC had wisely kept active. Tang Ruyan, seeing her protector defeated, summons her own powerful pet, a 9th-rank fallen winged king, and tries to escape. The MC, however, is not about to let her go. He taunts her, asking to see her sincerity in exchange for her life. When she hesitates to break the contract with her pet, a process that would leave her temporarily weakened, he decides to do it for her, physically severing the connection with a brutal attack. He then reveals his true identity as the one who conquered the Dragon Bone Tower, a revelation that leaves her in a state of shock and despair. He then proceeds to interrogate her, learning that the true power behind the secret realm is a legendary battle pet master named Yuan Tianchen, who has reserved the ultimate inheritance for his own granddaughter, and will eliminate any other potential candidates. The MC, now understanding the full scope of the danger he is in, realizes that his most urgent task is to upgrade his pet shop to the 3rd level, a feat that would grant him the power to protect his family from even a legendary-level threat. The MC returns to his pet shop to find it swarming with customers, a clear sign that his reputation has skyrocketed. He manages the eager crowd, assuring them that everyone will get a chance to have their pets trained. Back in his office, he checks his system's energy balance, noting he has over 11,000 points. He calculates that at his current rate, it will take about 10 days to save up the 100,000 energy required for the next store upgrade. To expedite the process, he accesses Pioneer.com, a private service for pioneers, to purchase the necessary land for his store's expansion. The customer service representative is efficient, but the price is staggering. A 200 million star coin deposit for a 3,000 square meter plot, with a total cost of 300 million. The price has doubled due to the upcoming Global Elite League, a revelation that initially annoys the MC. However, he remembers he has a valuable asset, the captured flame scale blood flood dragon. He inquires about its market value and is pleased to learn that, as the only live 9th-rank beast for sale, it can fetch a price of 250 million star coins, more than enough to cover the deposit. He agrees to the sale and then turns his attention to his own training, searching the system for cultivation site even more challenging than the Dragon King's inheritance land. He finds 2 options, the Supreme God Realm for 10,000 energy and the Demigod Land for 3,000. He selects the Demigod Land, hoping to find the Yan Jian Beast, a crucial material for upgrading his Golden Crow physique to the 2nd level. Upon entering the Demigod Land, he is immediately struck by its civilized, almost divine atmosphere, a stark contrast to the barren worlds he's visited before. The system prompts him to purchase a divine language translation function for 500 energy, which he readily agrees to. The installation is complete just as he is ambushed by a beautiful, winged woman who attacks him without warning, mistaking him for a disgusting bug. The MC summons his little skeleton and purgatory dragon to defend himself, but his dragon is instantly killed. However, thanks to the undead demon fruit, his little skeleton is immune to the first fatal blow and survives. The MC then resurrects his dragon and manages to subdue his attacker. He explains that he means no harm and learns that he has been teleported to the central god land, a territory of the Protoss. The woman, a pure-blooded god, is not surprised to see a human, as intermingling between the races is not uncommon. However, she is intrigued by the MC's ability to resurrect his pets and the strange, frightening aura she senses within him. Her polite demeanor vanishes as she demands to know who is backing him, her own power flaring. The MC, trying to de-escalate, mentions that he thought this place was called the demigod Fallen Land. The moment he says this, the woman's expression changes, and she attacks with lethal force, killing him instantly. The MC is resurrected in a new location, and after a brief and bloody encounter with a pack of monstrous fish-like creatures, he manages to kill one and discovers it drops a god crystal. The system informs him that these crystals can beastify a star pet, greatly enhancing its abilities and granting it power over demon and undead types. He feeds the crystal to his dark dragon dog, which immediately begins to transform, a new divinity value stat appearing on its panel. Just as he's about to hunt for more crystals, he hears a cry for help and finds two Protoss warriors being overwhelmed by a swarm of Zerg-like creatures. He intervenes, saving them, and learns that they are members of the Shen Feng team, tasked with cleaning up the constant Zerg invasions that plague their world. He also learns about the legendary Supreme God Realm, a lost paradise that the Protoss have been searching for years, believing it holds the key to defeating the Zerg once and for all. As more Zerg appear, including a powerful Zerg Centurion, the MC decides to use the two warriors as a distraction while he hunts for God crystals. He feels a rush of adrenaline as he faces the overwhelming horde, his potential unlocked by the thrill of battle. He fights with reckless abandon, dying and resurrecting 9 times, pushing himself to his absolute limit. He finally manages to defeat the Zerg Centurion, but is left with barely enough energy for one more resurrection. He decides to explore a different area and is randomly teleported to a luxurious room where the pure-blooded goddess is playfully teasing a white tiger cub. His sudden appearance startles her, and she immediately recognizes him as the human she killed earlier. She attacks again with her soul-rending divine spear, but the MC, now anticipating her moves, survives. She is shocked as her attack should have been fatal. The MC, realizing he is outmatched, decides to bluff. He claims to know the way to the Supreme God Realm, a statement that immediately piques her interest. He offers to lead her there in exchange for a divine origin technique, a secret manual that can permanently increase the learning speed of all his skills. She agrees, and as she leans in to teach him, the MC attempts to use a beast contract on her, a daring move to enslave a god. The contract backfires spectacularly, as she reverses it, nearly enslaving him instead. However, just as the contract is about to complete, a powerful backlash from the MC's system suppresses her, the raw power of a higher dimension entity putting her in her place. The system informs the MC that a regular pet contract won't work on such a high-level being, but an employee contract might. He presents the new contract to the subdued goddess, whose name is revealed to be Joanna. Intrigued by the contract's promise of a 7-day tour in any plane for excellent employees, she agrees to sign, officially becoming the first employee of the Eternal Pet Store. The system panel reveals her true power. She is a god of order in the conferred god realm, a level of existence far beyond anything the MC has ever encountered. The legendary battle pet master, Yuan Tianchen, stands before the MC's humble pet shop, flanked by the powerful retainers of the 4 great families. He offers the MC a chance to submit, promising him fortune and training, but the MC, with a smirk, sees through the thinly veiled threat. He detests those who proclaim themselves the best, believing all resources belong to them and hunting down anyone who dares to challenge their authority. Yuan Tianchen, his patience wearing thin, gives the MC an ultimatum: surrender or die. The MC's answer is unwavering, and Yuan Tianchen, his face a mask of cold fury, attacks with a massive sword of pure energy. To everyone's astonishment, Joanna, the MC's new employee, blocks the legendary master's attack with a single hand, her own power flaring to life. The retainers are stunned, realizing that there is another legendary rank master in Longjiang City. The MC, however, calmly reminds Joanna of her first duty as an employee, to protect the store manager. She, in turn, reminds him that by obeying the rules, she earns points towards becoming an excellent employee, a title she clearly covets. Their nonchalant conversation in the face of a legendary master leaves Yuan Tianchen seething with rage. He attacks again, but this time Dao Zun, the sword master, intervenes, his own power clashing with Yuan Tianqian's. The other retainers flee in terror as the two legendary masters face off. Joanna then unleashes her own terrifying power, a dark, monstrous aura that confirms her own legendary status, a fact that leaves the onlooking retainers trembling in fear. Yuan Tianqian, not to be outdone, summons his own powerful servant, a beast king of the shadows, and merges with it, transforming into a monstrous, four-armed warrior radiating an aura of pure emptiness. The other masters recognize this as a secret technique only available to those at the legendary rank and wisely retreat, knowing the city itself is in danger. Yuan Tianqian, now a terrifying demigod, declares that he's not stupid enough to destroy the city just to kill a couple of rats. His true target is Joanna. He attacks, his weapon a blur of motion, but Joanna, with a casual flick of her wrist, shatters his attack and sends him flying back, coughing up blood. With a single, effortless move, she has defeated one of the most powerful beings on the planet. The MC, with a smug smile, calls for his prisoners to come forward. The defeated retainers of the four great families, now humbled and terrified, are brought out. The MC's sister, Su Lingyu, wakes up from a nap to find her home filled with these legendary figures, now acting as her personal tutors. The Beast Emperor offers her a silver frost star moon dragon puppy. The King of Poison offers to teach her detoxification techniques, and the Snake Heart offers his expertise in hidden weapons. She is overwhelmed, unable to believe her luck. The MC reveals that this was all set up 3 hours prior, after he had thoroughly defeated and humbled them. He then asks Joanna for a curse to ensure their loyalty. She, for the price of 2 staff points, performs a seal of blessing, divine miracle that instills a new faith in the hearts of the blessed, that the Su family is sacred and undefeated. Any act of disobedience will result in them being burned by divine flames for 10 days and 10 nights. With his new tutors properly motivated, the MC then turns to Dao Zun, asking for sword lessons. Dao Zun, though initially hesitant, agrees, and they arrange to meet at a special training ground in a few days. Just as he's finalizing his plans, he receives a call informing him that the property he ordered and the fire-scaled blood dragon he sold are ready for delivery. 10 days after the confrontation, the MC stands before his newly expanded pet shop. He checks his energy reserves, now at over 125,000 points, and initiates the level 3 store upgrade. The upgrade unlocks the ability to breed pets from the 7th to the 9th order, exponentially increasing his earning potential. With a single word, update, the transformation begins. The system deducts 100,000 energy and begins to reconfigure the 3078 square meter property, automatically generating furniture and dividing the space into living quarters, reception areas, and a massive pet food and breeding/testing area. The MC then grants Joanna access to the store's functions, and just as he's finalizing the setup, his mother and sister arrive, stunned by the store's miraculous transformation. He explains that the money for the renovation came from a few uptown customers and assures them that they can now live in the store, safe and sound. At lunch, Joanna in her petite form joins them, and Su Lingyu is immediately smitten by her lovely and gentle appearance. After a day of watching Joanna effortlessly handle 100 customers, Su Lingyu realizes her brother's new employee is incredibly strong. The MC, seeing an opportunity, decides to release Tang Ruyan, the young master of the Tang family whom he had kept imprisoned, and offer her a temporary employee contract. He finds her in her room, and after a brief, comical escape attempt that ends with her running headfirst into an unbreakable window, he presents her with a plate of food. She initially refuses, but her hunger eventually wins out. He then offers her a temporary worker contract, which she scoffs at, but he tempts her with the promise that she can leave if she proves her worth. She reluctantly signs. The next day, both Joanna and Tang Ruyan are dressed in maid outfits, much to Tang Ruyan's fury. She tries to leave, but finds herself unable to pass through the store's entrance, a magical barrier holding her captive. The MC, meanwhile, has arranged for a film crew to shoot an advertisement for his store, using his purgatory candle dragon beast as the main attraction. The ad shoot is interrupted by the arrival of Su Lingyu's new tutors, who have come to protect her. Tang Ruyan is shocked to see Senior Snake Heart, the third-ranked master of her own family, acting as a bodyguard. She tries to use a star power sound transmission to contact him, but he is now a loyal servant of the MC. The MC, having overheard, reveals that he has captured not just Snake Heart, but members of all 4 great families, a revelation that leaves Tang Ruyan speechless with shock and fear. The MC is back in the demigod Fallen Land, and Joanna, his powerful Protoss employee, questions his motives for hunting the space Zerg. She can smell the divine crystals he's collected and assumes he shares the same goal as her people, to return the lost divine power to their mother, the giant world tree. She explains the tragic cycle of their existence. The gods are born from the tree, and when they die, their divine power is supposed to return to it, strengthening the entire realm. However, the Zerg invasion has disrupted this cycle, leading to a slow decline in their power. The MC, feigning sympathy, offers her a pile of god crystals, a gesture that seems to touch her. He then bluntly asks about the Shenyan Lai Huojing, the heart core of the god Yanjian beast he needs for his cultivation. Joanna, recognizing it as a rare but obtainable item, promises to have a god hunt one for him. With a deal struck, she leads him to the Divine Spring, a pool of blood-red liquid that can cleanse impurities and enhance cultivation. The MC, seeing the opportunity, immediately dives in. After soaking in the spring, he feels his power surge. His golden crow physique has broken through to the second level, granting him the physical strength of a 9th-rank master. He realizes that with his current power, the only one on the continent who could still pose a threat is the other legendary master, Hayes. He returns to his shop, wakes up Tang Ruyan, and prepares for a busy day. His sister, Su Lingyu, arrives, surprised to find the shop deserted despite the massive hype online. She shows him the news. A rival, the Extraordinary Pet Shop, has launched a massive advertising campaign guaranteeing a top 10 spot in the elite league for their high-spending customers. The MC, amused by their audacity, decides to one-up them. He declares that his little naughty pet shop will not just guarantee a top 10 spot, but the championship itself. The news spreads like wildfire, and soon the MC's shop is flooded with even more customers, all eager for a shot at the championship. The owner of the Extraordinary Pet Shop, Liu Yuan, is furious at this direct challenge and plots to use a PR campaign to smear the MC's reputation. The other great families, including the Zhu family, also take notice, intrigued by this bold newcomer who dares to challenge the established order. A few days later, the MC is in his shop with his sister and Zhu Quang. He confirms that he is serious about the guaranteed championship and reveals his plan. He will recommend one of them. Su Lingyu immediately volunteers, her eyes burning with a newfound determination to become stronger and protect her family. She confesses that she has sensed the danger surrounding them and knows her brother has been silently protecting them. She no longer wants to be a burden, she wants to fight alongside him. The MC, moved by her resolve, agrees to consider her. Just then, his system issues a new, non-rejectable mission. A customer is causing trouble, claiming the MC's training has ruined their pet. He must restore the store's reputation and kill the culprit. The reward, a legendary star pet skill book. He goes downstairs to find a man, Sun Qiu, loudly accusing him of malpractice. The MC calmly examines the man's Aurora Fox and, using his identification skill, sees that it's not sick but poisoned. Joanna, at the MC's request, effortlessly heals the fox, restoring it to full health and even increasing its combat power. Sun Qiu, shocked by the instant recovery, tries to leave, but the MC stops him, his demeanor turning cold. He knows the man is lying and summons Joanna to intimidate him. Sun Qiu, terrified by the presence of a title-level master, confesses that the Liu family, owners of the Extraordinary Pet Shop, paid him to frame the MC. The MC then asks Joanna if she has a way to read minds. For the price of 2 points, she agrees and performs a soul search on Sun Qiu. The truth is revealed. The Zhu family, not the Liu family, was behind the plot. They had poisoned the fox and coerced Sun Qiu into framing the MC, hoping to tarnish his reputation. The MC, his face a mask of cold fury, orders Joanna to break the pact between Sun Qiu and his fox, a cruel but just punishment. He then sets off for the Zhu family mansion, his purgatory dragon and dark dragon dog appearing in the sky above, a clear declaration of war. He arrives at the mansion and is met by the family's elite guards. He demands to see their patriarch, but they refuse. Tired of wasting time, the MC unleashes his suppressing demon fist, easily shattering their defensive formation and sending the guards flying. The Zhu family patriarch, Zhu Tianlin, and his left and right guardians finally appear, their faces grim. The patriarch, a 9th-rank upper-level master, tries to intimidate the MC, but the MC simply demands that he hand over the person who orchestrated the plot against his store. A battle ensues, with the patriarch and his guardians unleashing their most powerful pets and formations, including the formidable Azure Dragon Juxian formation, a technique that can reach the half-step legendary level. The MC, however, is unimpressed. He meets their ultimate attack head-on, his own pets providing a near-impenetrable defense. He then unleashes his little skeleton, which, with its dragon-slaying skill, effortlessly shatters the dragon spirit of the formation, a move that leaves the patriarch and his guardians stunned and bleeding. The MC, having proven his superiority, again demands that they hand over the culprits. The patriarch, his spirit broken, has no choice but to comply. He brings out all those involved, but the MC, sensing a deception, knows the true mastermind is still hiding. He executes all the scapegoats in a brutal display of power, a clear message that he will not be trifled with. He then turns his attention to the patriarch, preparing to kill him as well, but one of the guardians, Zhu Kai, finally steps forward and confesses that he was the one behind the entire plot, a desperate attempt to protect his family's honor. The MC, his mission now complete, allows his purgatory dragon to burn the traitor to ashes, leaving the Zhu family to lick their wounds and forever fear the name of the little naughty pet shop. The MC stands victorious in the ruins of the Zhu family mansion, the task from his system now complete. He demands compensation not just for his lost wages, but for the damage to his store's reputation. The humbled Zhu family patriarch has no choice but to agree. The MC then reveals his true price, not money, but the family's best resources for training war pet masters, essentially demanding they fund their own future demise. He then issues a final, chilling ultimatum. The entire city will become his shop. The next day, news of the Zhu family's humiliation has spread, and the MC's pet shop is more popular than ever. Having restored his store's reputation, he receives his system reward, a legendary star pet skill book, Beast Soul Cover, which grants the ability to fuse with a star pet and gain all of its combat power. He decides to give this incredible skill to his most loyal and powerful companion, the little skeleton. After a brief comical feeding session, the little skeleton absorbs the skill, and its combat power instantly skyrockets, increasing by a full half point to 11.5, a massive leap for such a high-level being. The MC reflects on how difficult it has been to upgrade the little skeleton's power in the past, and is thrilled with this new, direct method of enhancement. Just as he's celebrating, he gets a call from Yahello, who needs help finding a suitable training ground for 2 new 5th-rank pioneers. The MC, seeing an opportunity, agrees to help. He meets with Dao Zun, the legendary sword master, for their promised training session. He creates a hyper-realistic holographic training ground for them, a feat that impresses the old master. As a test, Dao Zun asks the MC to draw his sword, but the MC, with a smirk, summons his little skeleton instead, declaring it will be Dao Zun's student. As a gesture of goodwill, the MC gives Dao Zun a starry spirit fruit, a priceless treasure that can directly increase a pet master's star power. The training begins, and the little skeleton, under Dao Zun's tutelage, demonstrates its incredible potential, its advanced knife skills, already at a level that shocks the legendary master. Dao Zun, recognizing the skeleton's immense talent, agrees to teach it his ultimate technique, the Chaosing Star Reincarnation Knife. The MC then takes his sister and Zhu Kuang to a B-grade barren area for their own training, arriving in a heavily armored battle vehicle that leaves his sister in awe. During the drive, he explains the truth about the Zhu family incident, revealing the cutthroat nature of the world they live in, a truth his sister had already begun to suspect. In the barren area, they are immediately ambushed by a pack of dark, flame arrow-backed demon dogs. Su Lingyu and Zhu Kuang work together, their teamwork and powerful pets, a silver frost star moon dragon and a swamp crawler, making quick work of the beasts. The MC, observing their progress, is pleased. He had been worried about his sister, but she is proving to be a natural and resilient warrior. As they continue their training, their coordination improves, and they become a formidable fighting unit, their confidence growing with each victory. The Elite League finally begins, and Su Lingyu, now a seasoned warrior, steps into the arena. The first round is a swarm knockout, where 1,000 contestants must survive for 6 hours against a horde of 5th-rank phantom butterfly bees. The crowd is in an uproar, as this is a brutal, high-stakes challenge that will surely result in many casualties. While the other contestants panic, Su Lingyu remains calm. She has faced far worse in the barren lands with her brother. The MC, watching from the stands with the vice presidents of both Fengshan and Jianlin, is unconcerned. The match begins, and the arena is instantly filled with the buzzing of 1,000 deadly insects. While most contestants struggle, Su Lingyu, using her keen intellect and observation skills, quickly deduces that the key to survival is not to fight, but to find a way to repel the insects. She notices that the bees are avoiding the harmless grass flowers that dot the arena. Her theory is confirmed when she sees the children of the Tang family using the same tactic, luring the bees away from the flowers. She realizes that the flowers themselves must be the key. She uses her pet to create a smokescreen, and under its cover, finds the single, unique flower that is repelling the swarm. She has found the secret to winning the first round. Just as she's about to claim victory, she is ambushed by 3 members of the Tang family, who attack her with a barrage of poisonous hidden weapons. Using a secret technique taught to her by Snake Heart, she effortlessly redirects their attacks, causing them to be stung by their own poisoned needles and eliminated from the competition. As she stands victorious, another contestant who had been hiding and watching emerges from the flames, his own plan to win now in motion. He uses his phantom butterfly bee to locate the hidden insect-repelling flower, but Su Lingyu, having already found it, is 1 step ahead. The other contestant, a member of the Mu family, unleashes a desperate final attack, using a forbidden technique to drive the entire swarm into a bloodthirsty frenzy, targeting Su Lingyu. She responds by summoning her own powerful pet, a phantom flame beast, which unleashes an 8th-rank fire dragon scroll explosion, a devastating attack that incinerates a large portion of the swarm. The Mu family contestant then reveals his trump card, a demon claw beast, which he uses to try and control Su Lingyu's pet. However, she has one final trick up her sleeve, a technique taught to her by her brother, how to counter mind control by striking at the caster's weakest point. She defeats him, securing her victory in the first round of the Elite League. The aftermath of the Elite League's first round is a scene of utter chaos, with the disciples of the Mu family completely eliminated. The crowd is abuzz with Su Lingyu's incredible performance, and the little naughty pet shop is the talk of the town. At Fengshan College, director Dong Mingsong is overjoyed, congratulating the MC on his sister's victory. The MC, however, is being led away by an unseen force, a group of shadowy figures who appear in a dark alley. They reveal they are the Black Dog team, notorious mercenaries who do the dirty work for the great families, and they have been hired to capture Su Lingyu. Su Lingyu, sensing the danger, is ready for a fight. She unleashes a powerful 5th-order attack, but the assassins are too strong. Just as they are about to overpower her, the MC appears, effortlessly blocking their attacks and asking if his test is over. He had been there the whole time, using the attack as a way to gauge his sister's reaction time and combat prowess. He then proceeds to deal with the assassins, their bodies found later in a gruesome state, a clear message to anyone who would dare to threaten his family. The next day, Dao Zun arrives at the now bustling pet shop, asking to see the little skeleton. The MC, surprised by the visit, agrees and entrusts the legendary sword master with his pet's training. Joanna, his Protos employee, then presents him with a massive pile of secret treasures, a gift from the now terrified Zhu family. The treasures are of the highest quality, but Joanna, with her divine senses, dismisses them as rubbish. The MC, amused by her arrogance, decides to give the treasures to his sister, but Joanna warns him that they are too powerful for her to absorb safely. The MC, ever the opportunist, decides to have a good chat with Tang Ruyan, the imprisoned young master of the Tang family. He finds her in the cultivation space, and after a comical scene where she tries to bear with his tickle torture, he agrees to let her out. He then uses a temporary contract on her, a system ability that weakens the target's thinking ability to that of a star pet, making them more compliant. The contract is successful, and Tang Ruyan, her mind now clouded, sees the MC as her majestic and irresistible master. He orders her to explain the use of the secret treasures, and she, now a loyal servant, readily agrees. The MC then uses the system's time-accelerating cultivation field to help his sister absorb the treasures, a process that would normally take 3 months, in a single 72-hour session. He places his sister into a medicinal bath, and the intense process of washing the sutras and cutting the marrow begins. In the outside world, the MC returns to his shop to find that the Black Dog team has been completely annihilated, news that sends shockwaves through the city's underworld. The Mu family, who had hired the assassins, are now terrified, realizing they have provoked a powerful and ruthless enemy. The other great families, the Qin and Tang, also begin to plot, determined to eliminate this new threat to their dominance. The Elite League preliminary round begins, a 5-player melee where only one contestant from each group will advance. The MC, watching from the stands, learns that a mysterious and powerful organization called Starry Sky has come to the city, their intentions unknown. The battle begins, and Su Lingyu, now vastly more powerful after her training, finds herself in the arena with 4 other contestants, including members of the Tang, Qin, and Mu families. They immediately team up against her, but she, with her newfound confidence and skill, is more than ready for the challenge. The battle is fierce, with Su Lingyu using her incredible agility and her brother's teachings to outmaneuver her opponents. She manages to defeat the shepherd's family disciple, but the remaining three, all from the great families, team up, using their most powerful secret treasures and techniques to try and overwhelm her. Just as they are about to land a finishing blow, Su Lingyu unleashes her trump card, a resonance with her pet, Snowball, a technique that amplifies her power to a terrifying degree. She then reveals her true strength, her phantom flame beast appearing in the sky, a clear sign that she is not to be underestimated. The battle continues, with Su Lingyu using her superior tactics and the element of surprise to hold her own against the three powerful opponents. The Mu family's champion, Ma Zhang, is arrogant, believing his 8th-level flame crystal demon prison dragon is invincible. He and the other two champions decide to team up to eliminate Su Lingyu first, but she, with a cunning plan, uses her pet, Snowball, to cast a nightmare projection, a powerful mental attack that temporarily incapacitates Ma Zhang. She then uses a star-reading lock to seal his star power, leaving him completely vulnerable. She defeats him with a single, powerful kick, sending him flying out of the arena. The remaining two champions, Ji Zhu and Zhang Shuo, are stunned, but they quickly recover and attack together. Su Lingyu, however, is not finished. Having learned from her brother, she knows that she doesn't need to hide her power anymore. She summons her final, most powerful pet, a 9th-rank Silver Frost Star Moon Dragon. With a single, devastating, frozen thousands of miles attack, she freezes the entire arena, defeating her two remaining opponents and securing her victory in the preliminary round. The Elite League preliminary round concludes with Su Lingyu's stunning victory, her frozen thousands of miles technique leaving the entire stadium in awe. The crowd erupts, and even director Dong Mingsong is beaming with pride, declaring that Su Lingyu will be a major pillar of Fengshan College in the future. That night, Su Lingyu finds Tang Ruyan meditating in her room, the stars themselves seeming to bend to her will. Tang Ruyan, surprisingly, offers to teach Su Lingyu a secret technique of the Tang family, the immovable crystal body, a powerful defensive art that enhances both physical and mental fortitude. Su Lingyu, eager to learn, agrees, and Tang Ruyan, in a rare moment of camaraderie, begins the lesson. In another part of the city, the patriarchs of the other great families are plotting. They have learned of Tang Ruyan's disappearance and Su Ping's involvement, and they see an opportunity to weaken their rivals. The MC, meanwhile, is in his shop, receiving a report from his new loyal servants. He learns of the Starry Sky organization and their interest in him, a new and powerful enemy on the horizon. He decides to take Joanna to the Divine Spring in the demigod Fallen Land to help Zhu Quang train. Joanna is thrilled at the prospect of returning to the God realm, but the MC, with a smirk, reminds her that she's still just an employee. He then teases her, offering a way to quickly improve her combat power, robbing the heavens. He takes her to the demigod's grave, where a probation member of the Nirvana 7th Major Squad is about to undergo his heavenly tribulation, a dangerous trial to ascend to the legendary tier. The MC explains his plan. They will borrow the tribulation's power for their own training. The warrior, with a roar, begins the trial, and a massive vortex of thunderclouds gathers in the sky. The tribulation begins, and bolts of divine lightning rain down, but the warrior with his divine bull physique endures. However, the heavens are not so easily appeased. The tribulation intensifies, and the warrior is overwhelmed, his body shattered by the immense power. He fails the trial, and in a cruel twist of fate, his body turns to ash, a stark reminder of the dangers of challenging the heavens. The MC, having witnessed this, has a newfound respect for the power of the tribulation and the system that protects him. Joanna explains that the warrior's failure was not due to a lack of talent, but a lack of raw combat power. Another warrior then steps up to take the trial, and Joanna, as a gesture of goodwill, lends him her Achilles shield, a celestial tier treasure that can withstand immense damage. The MC, seeing an opportunity, announces that he will be borrowing this tribulation as well. The trial begins, and the sky turns a blood red, a sign of a colored thunder tribulation, a rare and far more powerful version of the trial. The thunderclouds expand to a terrifying 100-mile radius, a phenomenon that shocks even Joanna. The MC, however, is not afraid. He and his pets face the storm head-on, using the tribulation's raw power to temper their bodies and souls. The battle is brutal, with the MC and his pets being repeatedly destroyed and resurrected, each time coming back stronger. They endure all 9 strikes of the tribulation, and when the dust settles, they stand victorious, their power levels having increased exponentially. The MC, having successfully robbed the heavens, now possesses the power of the Thunder Dao, allowing him to engrave powerful lightning-based skills onto his pets. He grants his dark dragon dog the Thunder Murder Domain, and his silver frost dragon the Wind God Thundering Arrow, making them even more formidable. He returns to his shop, his power now at a level that can truly shake the foundations of the city. The finals of the Elite League are about to begin, and the MC, with his newly empowered sister and his own terrifying strength, is ready for whatever comes next. The final round is a nightmare hunt, a battle royale held in a dream world created by an abyssal nightmare beast. The 5 players with the highest scores at the end will advance. The game begins, and Su Lingyu, with her newfound power and confidence, immediately becomes a target. The other contestants, including the young masters of the great families, have all agreed to a truce, their first goal being to eliminate the outsiders. Zhu Kuang, however, has other plans. He uses his newfound power to act as a villain, drawing attention to himself and creating chaos, all to help Su Lingyu. In the aftermath of Su Lingyu's victory, the crowd is in an uproar, completely blown away by her display of power. Director Dong Mingsong is ecstatic, already envisioning her as a future pillar of Fengshan College. That night, Su Lingyu finds Tang Ruyan in the training room, and after a bit of awkwardness, Tang Ruyan agrees to teach her a secret Tang family technique to strengthen her mental fortitude. The lesson begins, with Tang Ruyan guiding Su Lingyu in a half-summoning technique to call forth her Silver Frost Star Moon Dragon. Tang Ruyan, impressed by Su Lingyu's control, begins teaching her the immovable crystal body, a powerful defensive art. Su Lingyu, ever the diligent student, is eager to learn, even offering to buy her new mentor delicious food as a sign of respect. Tang Ruyan, however, has an ulterior motive. She knows that once Su Lingyu uses this technique in the finals, the Tang family will recognize it and come looking for her, providing a perfect opportunity for her to be rescued. Meanwhile, the patriarch of the Liu family, having been informed of the events at the pet shop and the tournament, is plotting his revenge. He learns about the mysterious organization Starry Sky and their interest in the MC, adding another layer of complexity to the situation. The MC, aware of the growing danger, decides to take Joanna back to the demigod Fallen Land for some high-level training, specifically to a place called the Divine Thunder Peak, where warriors undergo their heavenly tribulation. He explains his plan to borrow the tribulation's power, a concept that intrigues Joanna. They arrive to find a warrior from the 7th Major Squad already in the process of his trial, the sky churning with a 10-mile radius of thunderclouds. The warrior bravely faces the storm, but the tribulation is too powerful. He fails, and his body is turned to ash, a grim reminder of the trial's lethality. The MC, unfazed, prepares for the next warrior, a young man who Joanna decides to help by lending him her Achilles shield. The MC joins him, and as he steps onto the platform, the sky turns a blood red, a sign of a rare and powerful colored thunder tribulation. The thunderclouds expand to a terrifying 200-mile radius, shocking everyone present. The MC and his pets face the storm head-on, using its raw power to temper their bodies. The battle is brutal, with his pets being destroyed and resurrected repeatedly. As the final 9th strike descends, the MC, his own energy depleted, is saved by a prismatic star core, a secret treasure given to him by Joanna. He absorbs its power and, now fused with his little skeleton through the Beast Soul overlay skill, meets the final bolt of lightning with a powerful punch. The tribulation is vanquished, and the MC emerges, his body and soul reforged, his power having reached a new, incredible height. He has not only survived, but has also gained a new ability, the power to comprehend the Thunder Dao and engrave powerful lightning skills onto his pets. He returns to his shop, ready for the final round of the Elite League. The finals are a battle royale in a dream world, and the MC, watching from the outside, sees the young masters of the great families forming an alliance to eliminate all other contestants. Zhu Kuang, however, has other plans. He plays the part of the villain, drawing the attention of Liu Qingfeng, the young master of the Liu family, and engaging him in a fierce battle, creating a diversion for Su Lingyu. Liu Qingfeng, arrogant and powerful, summons his 2 mighty dragons, a dragon of earth and a dragon of thunder and fire, confident in his victory. Zhu Kuang, however, is not alone. Surely another contestant reveals her own dragon, a lunar dragon, and the 2 of them prepare to face Liu Qingfeng's might. The arena is now a battlefield of 4 powerful dragons, a spectacle that leaves the audience breathless. The battle is intense, with Zhu Kuang and Liu Qingfeng locked in a fierce duel. Zhu Kuang, using his pet Umbregeddon's incredible defensive abilities, manages to hold his own against the more experienced swordsman. Liu Qingfeng, frustrated, unleashes his ultimate attack, a grade 9 annihilation skill, a massive sphere of destructive energy that threatens to vaporize a third of the island. Zhu Kuang, however, has a trump card. He activates his pet's domain, a murderous thunder domain, which completely swallows and dissipates the annihilation skill, a feat that leaves Liu Qingfeng and the audience in stunned silence. Zhu Kuang then reveals the source of his pet's incredible power. His teacher, the infamous owner of the Lil Rascal pet store, Su Ping.